It's a Spurs pop-up again with the two Brians and Adam Clarke here on Tottenham On Tour. Welcome to the show. Brian, Adam, how are you lads? What's going on? I'll start with you, Brian. What you saying on this fine Sunday afternoon? Evening for you, I guess, right?
Yeah, the adrenaline is pumping. Happy New Year to you both, because it's the first time I saw Adam yesterday for a bit on Josh's fantastic stream, but first time I'm seeing you both. So happy and healthy New Year. And yeah, my adrenaline over the last few days has been pumping good. So I'm in a very, very good frame of mind.
I can tell. Yeah, and it's been it's been a positive run for us the last week and a half, and of course we're going to get into that. I'm going to let you roll with that, but I just wanted to say hello to Adam. Adam, obviously, good to see you, brother. How's your New Year doing so far?
So far so good. Especially like with the absolute gains that this channel has made. Like holy God! When I was on it, we were below 1,000. Now we're closer to like 2,000. It's absolutely fantastic. Like shows how great this community is. I'm in a good mood just for that reason alone, man.
Excellent, buddy. Well, it's good to have you on. Brian, why don't you?
First of all, Brian, how about yourself? How are you?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. This is like the only time we've ever asked him.
I know nobody ever asks me. I'm the host usually, so I just ask everybody else and skip me. I'm doing well, mate. I'm good. I had a really good New Year's party with some friends. The people I was supposed to go to Colombia with, as you guys both know, the trip that I had scheduled had to be postponed until probably next year. And we just hung out. We had a really good time, some drinks. It was the same group of people that were going to be on the trip together. So a bunch of classy folk and slight recovery mode for the last couple of days, but I'm doing good. It was a good time, and I'm feeling really good, obviously, about this channel and what has happened in the last week and a half. It's just sort of absurd to me that where we were and where we are now. So Brian, I'll let you yammer on about that if you want.
Yeah, there's a few things we do, but a little bit of housekeeping. And then, like the normal pop-ups, we are going to be putting the link in, and everyone come and join us. But before we go through the comments like you do normally, Brian, I'm just going to pick one. Okay. So I want to say hi to you're all very, very special, but there's a certain person I need to reach out to very quickly.
Go for it, man.
And it's this wonderful woman here, Tammy, which is obviously Bob's ex. Thank you for coming in and tuning in, Tammy. Always appreciative. Hope you and all the kids are good. So whilst we're talking about the great man that is always never far from our hearts, never far from our minds, what updates can we give? Obviously, I spoke on We Are Tottenham TV this morning once Tammy and Kim gave me the morning update, which is he had a good night. His oxygen, Tammy, correct me if I say anything wrong here, but his oxygen levels when he's on his back have been not very good at all. But today, last night, there was he was a little bit more comfortable on his back and his oxygen levels went down a bit. They'd had to do yesterday or the day before tests on his heart for obvious reasons and his chest. That's all come back okay, so that's one good thing.
That's good.
There were thoughts he might have a infection, but he is on the strongest antibiotics, which will literally just kill anything that's within his system that's trying to affect him. He's still fighting. He's still in the medically induced coma. But the good news is, thankfully, he seems to be a little bit more relaxed on his back, which has been the major obstacle in this. So we are getting there. There's slow increments of improvement. As we've said, we will always update people. And if there is no news, it's because there is no news, because obviously there's so many people, and Tammy is blown away by this, because obviously Kim's part of the community and has been with it, and Tammy is up in Nottingham and doesn't follow Tottenham, unfortunately. How dare she? But
we'll forgive her for it. We'll forgive her.
We'll forgive her. We'll forgive her. I think she's adopting Tottenham to her heart right now. So yeah, she's tuned in. She's been incredible, and the great thing is the three of us, me, Kim, and Tammy, are all there for helping each other. All there for, like, Kim's not feeling quite well today. She's come down with a cold, so Tammy and I are picking up, and when I've not been well, them two are there. So we're working very, very well.
Teamwork happening,
nice. Teamwork, and Tammy and Kim are getting on famously. We're all getting on famously, and we're here to provide any news that comes in. And when it does come, I'm giving a morning update on We Are Tottenham TV, and if there is any further updates, we will update you. Now, before I move on to the next one, we've obviously, and before we do the greetings, we've had a super chat come in. So just going to click on that one. So, Dave, thank you very much indeed for
Dave.
saying big up.
Thank
You
you.
love to see
well
this.
done.
Like you absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
it's fantastic. So yeah, the second part of the housekeeping we're going to get into, and this goes for the 22 people that are watching and many others that will hopefully join, and then obviously rewatch this show because it's a pop-up, it's a surprise. Literally, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Like I said, I came back over to England, the first time I came to England, Brian and I think Adam had just joined us at that time, just
Right
joined
there,
us
yeah,
at that time, or around that time. We're just going to got back.
Maybe about a day or two, like.
Yeah. So when I left for England, we were at 300 and something subscribers, or just touching 4. And then obviously when I came back, and of the work we've done with We Are Tottenham TV, who is our next port of call, we were up to almost 800. And then obviously due to the Bob circumstances, I've flown back. And then obviously I've been on We Are Tottenham TV a lot. And the first time I was on it was Christmas Eve, when we were really trying to get that 153, and we were pushing for January so we could do our mental health show or our follow on from Tottenham Away. And obviously we have blown that out the water. The numbers are just frightening. I mean, we're over 1,300 now. Like Adam said, we're closer to 1,500 than we were 1,000, like literally a week and a half ago. And I just want to thank we all do. Everyone will go around just now.
The channel wants to thank everybody. It's been an
it's just fantastic. The support we've been shown, it's just been incredible. We are blown away by it. So we just want to thank you. I'll say that, but I don't know if you two want to add anything to that before we talk about We Are Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would add is just more thank yous. I mean, the support we're getting has been insane, and it's been just levels, man. It's makes me it makes me weep a little bit. You know, I didn't expect it to. I thought we were going to be not struggling per se, but I thought like getting to that 1,000 mark was going to be tight, and then we just crushed it like really fast. And thanks everybody. If you're a new subscriber, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed the content. We're going to do a lot of great stuff this season, and looking forward to you guys joining us and joining us in the chat. Join us. We're going to have people on, which we're going to do later today as well, as Brian said. So appreciate you.
Adam, anything to add?
Well, I never had any doubts that this channel would like reach that 1,000 mark, because I knew that the great people in this community would like ensure that. So like I tell you what, I always had faith in you, lads, and I had faith in you to get us that 5K mark as well. No pressure. That's
the next level. That's where we're going for next. But I love it. I love it, Adam. That's why Adam's here. He's got the motivation like the rest of us do. So we appreciate it. Cheers.
Fantastic. So the last bit of housekeeping before we put the link out and people can join us, and we have like we said, with these pop-ups, it's just no agenda, nothing.
Yeah.
We just talk. It doesn't even have to be about Spurs. We'll always come back to Spurs. It can be what we did at New Year. How's your family? How's life? Whatever. But yeah, there's a very special channel to every single channel's hearts, and everyone knows where I'm going with this. 2 very, very special people, especially in my life, in Ben and Simeon, who hit the mammoth and incredible 100,000 subscribers. And I mean, I kept hearing this number and that they were going for it. And obviously I've been trying to push it for them, and we all have, but I've been really, really. And then when we watched the video that they released yesterday, which was expertly put together with Vidi, when they said, do you know what, all our subscribers couldn't fit into Wembley Stadium, you're like, boom.
Boom,
like,
yeah, mind boggling right there.
You're like, you're like, Jesus bloody Christ. But listen, David Harris said it the best yesterday when he said, you've changed his life. You've changed our lives. You have changed so many people's lives. You have affected so many people's lives. I mean, when I started and first met Brian, and then we started Tottenham Away with Stel and Shy, we joked about it and said, you know what, how good would it, and I was already going on We Are Tottenham TV. I just started going on then. It was like, do you know what, how good would it be to meet these guys, and how good would it be to have them on our channel, and how good would it be to do this and that? Never in our wildest dreams, never. I mean, to think that they're considered family now, to consider that they don't see us rivals or threat. They embrace us, they help us, they support us. The love they give everyone, and not just our channel, every single other channel that's about there. And it's not just, when you get to know these two, it's not just about Tottenham Hotspur, it's about everything. It's about life, friendship, family, talking about other shit. There's me trying. Oh, it's just over 10 minutes. So
You
we're
made
good.
it. You made it, Brian. We
We're
made
good.
it.
We're good. We're good. We're
I
good.
don't
I
think
mean,
we swore in the
I've done
first
most
10
of the
minutes.
talking, Brian. So it eliminated you. Maybe this is the way forward.
Yeah, maybe that's it. You start the show from now on. It's
But yeah, I mean, these guys, and there's people in these chats. We'll start going through the comments very soon and being more interactive. Everyone knows what these boys mean to all of us. Everyone knows what these boys have done, not just for the 4.5 years they're going, especially during COVID, especially during this pandemic and lockdown. If it wasn't for them, I know my mental health, which everyone knows I suffer with, would have been. I don't know how bad I would have been, but it wouldn't have been good. And they are just honestly, it's so humbling and I'm so proud and honored to know them. And I was so proud and honored to be in the studio and get to announce, like, that's it, 100,000 done.
yeah, it's pretty cool that you were able to do that. I love that.
And not only that, I mean, what they've done for this channel alone, like when I went on it was We Are Tottenham on Tour, that Ben came up with that name. Always subscribing, pinning our link to our chat at the top. I mean, they are just, people see them, and I've been to games with them, and you kind of can put it into your head about people walking down the street. They know who they are. I mean, I've been stopped at Tottenham and asked for photos, but these boys get stopped everywhere they go, and literally nothing is too much for them. I know, I was about and nothing is too much for them. They will take picture after picture after picture after picture, never say no to anyone. They are just two exceptional boys.
Pure class, man. Pure class.
And not just that, I mean, another person on a bigger, obviously the three in the back, Vinny, Jake and Sam, do a great job, but there's another person who I've got to know and idolize. Now, everyone says when it comes to you're so lucky when you have grandparents, and a grandpa is grandpa and a grandson relationship is something that can be very, very special. Now, their grandpa, who is everyone's grandpa, you see him on the camera, but listen, every time I see that man, it's like I feel like, you know, when you're running in a meadow and you're about to hug someone. That's what it's like when I see
Chariots of Fire playing in the background. You know,
yeah, he is just the most incredible person, and he is so proud of his grandchildren, and you could see it oozing out of him yesterday. And he is just, right? He is just they're just a very, very special family. So yeah, I mean, I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me personally, as well as the channel. And here's to the next 100,000, and here's to the next 200, 500 million.
Get them to a million.
Exactly. Which we will be there to support them with. And that's all I have to say about the boys. I know you two want to say something, and then we'll get through the comments eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be as long-winded as you, because I'm not as I don't know how to do that, but I will say that yeah, I mean, I started watching them on YouTube when I first started watching YouTube, because I was looking for content, Spurs content, and I was always in the comments with them. I was one of the first probably subscribers, especially maybe who wasn't from London, and I've been following them since the very beginning, since they had the crappy mics, since they were doing all the stuff outside the stadium, and I was always, just always supportive of them. I thought they've done a really good job with the channel, and congrats, guys, on the 100,000. Absolutely fantastic, and we appreciate the support of our channel as well. It's a pleasure, and makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Adam?
Yeah, I mean, they've earned every single one of those 100K subscribers, like, and I'd wish them well for the future and hope they get to 1 million, 2 million, like however far they're going to go. Like, I'm actually similar to Brian. I started following them, I think, like towards the beginning, when they were only like, I think, geez, would they only get like on 1.1K subscribers, like when I started following them? Like, because like Brian, I was looking for Spurs content. I'd already started watching like Expressions, and he was like only on 56K or something at the time. So like, this is back with the freaking Potch era, like when I started watching them, like, and I like how they've grown and how they've, like, a lot of YouTubers, like, they forget their roots, like, especially when they get famous and they let it go to their head. These guys have just like maintained and done a much improved version of the same thing they were doing since the beginning. So, these guys are just like, they're true, like, YouTubers. Like, if you can like me saying that without cringing.
Yeah, we watch them improve and improve and improve, and their content gets better and better all the time, and they're just lovely humans. So it's fantastic stuff. Yeah, so should we get into the comments here quickly?
Yeah, let's get
say
into
hello
the
to everybody.
comments. Let's get into the comments.
We've been long-winded on that, which is totally fun.
Yeah.
But what's up, Chris? Always a pleasure.
Mr.
Thanks for the
Agenbar.
support. Happy
Chris.
New Year.
Graham.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Ben Kaufman's here. Leon,
Pick up, Ben.
what's up, Leon? Alan Harris. This is one of my favorite comments from Mark Swift, who always is, "What's a pop-up? Is it like a hard-on?" Thanks Mark, for that. I'm waiting to post that one because it was hilarious. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to post that one." We got Tammy, of course, who we spoke about already, and cheers, Tammy, for everything, and for being here. John Fitzpatrick, what's up, John? How are you, buddy?
Big up, John.
Chris, what's up, Chris? Happy New Year as well. And of course, Dave's given us the super chat. We'll post it again. But Dave, cheers for everything, and thanks for your support. Phil, who was with us last week in the pop-up. Hopefully, Phil, if you're around, you want to join us again, we're going to post that link soon. You can hop in there.
Yeah, he's buzzing because obviously he got to come to the studio with me for a couple of days.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched when he was on. He did a great job. It was a lot of fun.
Not just that. What with it with Phil? When I came over to London the original time, you'll remember this stream. And if Tammy's still here, she'll love this. Right, Bob actually had said to me, because of the time difference with you and me, we weren't putting content out. And as we know, I'm not the best technical when it comes to StreamYard. He's like, Brian, you haven't been doing Tottenham on Tour enough. You haven't been doing Tottenham on Tour enough. He goes, I know what. Let's do a show on my channel, you and me, dedicated to just plugging Tottenham on Tour. That's the kind of man this man is.
Good guy.
And Phil actually made his debut on that show. That was his first time on any stream. Yeah. And that was back in October. And then he was like, and then 2 months later, and I'm part of the Spurs community, obviously with Dermot and Kuva, with their phenomenal
brilliant channel. Hop on over
exactly.
there.
And Dermot just popped in at the bottom comment, but we'll get through those. And now Phil, it's incredible. That's what I suppose. Like I said, this family. But carry on with the comments.
Yep. Derek, cheers, buddy. Happy New Year as well. Some of these folks we've already said hello to. I'm just going to try to get to it relatively quick. Alexander, how you doing? Chris, what's happening? Oh, that was for Phil, but what's happening to you too as well? Just Tammy, just to add to the note that you mentioned earlier, it's positive news today. Bobby's fighting his fight. Thank you for all your support. It means a lot to us and Bobby's children. Anything we can do to help, 100%. James Watson, what's up? What's going on? Phil Bourne, we've got here. Dave Rabel. I'm going to try to do this quick, guys. I'm going to pop through them. Sorry, I want to get to everybody, but of course we talked a lot, so people are. It's piling up. Shelfside Spurs is with us. Fantastic channel as well. Pop on over there and say hello to those lads as well. Fantastic channel. Phil Bourne is here. Chris, we said hello to. Oh, I think almost got to the bottom. Thomas, what's up? Big up. How you doing, buddy? I think that's everybody.
There's quite Cody's in here as well.
Is Cody there as well? I haven't seen Cody. Cody's waiting for that moment where he can take the piss.
He is. Well, he's already clipped me. I've got to bring up Daryl's. I saw someone in the chat that said I'm a brand new subscriber today. So
cool.
Thank you for subscribing.
Oh yeah, Phil Bourne, this gentleman here, yeah.
Exactly. And then we've got Daryl, who I don't know who he's talking about here when he says just waiting with the popcorn for after Alistair Gold said we are skint. I don't know who.
It'll probably happen at some point.
I don't know who he's talking about. Who he's expecting. Who he's expecting to go mad. But like I said, what I did say on We Are Tottenham TV today. What I did say on We Are Tottenham TV today, and I said it. I was meant to fly back on the 13th of January. What's up, Dar? I was meant to fly back, like I said, to Toronto on the 13th, but because of Bob and things, I can't leave without seeing him. So it's been postponed to the 23rd minimum. Obviously, depending on how he is. So I'm giving Daniel Levy the deadline of the 13th. He's got till the 13th to sign someone.
If you're listening, Daniel, if you're watching, Daniel.
He's got this time. He's got till that time. And if there is no player in on the 14th of January, yours truly will be outside the training ground. The 15th, I will be outside the training ground, and every other day that's not a match day.
And look for those pop-ups as well, because we'll be doing pop-ups live from the Tottenham training ground.
Yeah,
with
Brian. We'll get the 5K definitely then.
Yeah. When I said that, I had people in the chat and we were going, Brian, I'll be there. People were posting the address. Graham, who's in the chat now, who's part of the Levy Out protest with me when I was over here the first time, is going to join me. So I don't think I'll be alone. And it's not going to be quiet. Let's put it that way. So On that note,
I just want to post it up. Post it now because I want to post it for Adam. Adam, if you want to join us, we can have the two Brians and the two Adams.
Come on,
make it happen. Come on, Adam.
Let's even the score.
Yeah,
I'm just going to put the link in there now.
Yeah, do it up.
Everyone, we're going to chat about whatever you want. There's no set agenda. We can talk about anything. Come and join us. The link is now in the description.
I am going to start, and yeah, please hop on, and we'll get you on. I'm going to start with some statistics. It was a Twitter post that I put up the other day. That I got an incredible amount of people who spoke about it, and it's let me just find it here. Okay, so these statistics under Conte, is fantastic statistics. This is Tottenham under Conte, unbeaten in 8 Premier League games, more than 2 XG in 7 out of 8 games, positive XGD in more than 1 times XGD in 6 out of 8 games. Now 2 points behind fourth with 2 games in hand. That was before the Watford game. From least distance covered in the Premier League to the most distance covered in the Premier League.
1 billion%, Chris. 1 billion%. We've been
up on Chris. Yep.
Yeah, Chris, who is always on the Irish Hotspur, is a great laugh and a great guy. We've been trying to get him on. Simon, if you want to come on, or anyone, anyone that's in the chat.
We are going to max it out at 6 though, on the screen at the same time because it gets a little cluttered. So if you do end up sitting there for a little bit.
Oh, and here he is, Hollywood. Hollywood's in the building.
Here. What's up, Hollywood? How you doing, mate?
Stop the tiss.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. It's even
How
evening
you
for
doing,
me.
Mister?
Yeah, grand. This is the nickname the boys have given me today. They're like, "Oh, you welcome him back to your little channel. You've been in the big lead. Come on, Hollywood."
I love it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great spending time with you, Phil. We had a great few days, didn't we? But also, what we have to say as well is, I know he's awake. He couldn't believe he hadn't slept for long. But Josh, the Tottenham guy, did a 24-hour stream for charity.
Oh, nice!
Because in November, his young daughter was in hospital for quite a while due to having bronchitis, and she was in hospital. And they had a wonderful organisation called Cosmic, which helps with accommodation for parents if they're distant from the hospital, amongst other things. So Josh said he was going to do a 24-hour stream. So Phil and I was helping him, and he just came on We Are Tottenham TV today. He was aiming for 500.
Yeah.
He came on Tottenham TV, and he was over 1,000. We posted, or Ben posted the link in there, and by the time we finished his little interview part, he was on over 1,300. So it's been a great job from Josh. But yeah, Phil, how was your journey home, and how is it having that nickname, which Cody has said
Cody's apparently at fault for that,
yeah,
by the way.
Of course it was Cody.
Yeah, who else?
Who else, man? Yeah, come on.
It says a lot about the family, doesn't it, or the community, because I think I listened to a little bit as I was in the car driving home, and I think Ben said he put the link in, and within 10 minutes, it had gone up nearly £200. You know, if you do that on top of, obviously, with Bob and everything, it's just, honestly, I can't speak highly enough of everything, of the whole community. Obviously, you got your mothership at the top there, but they're just helping everyone, and it was just nice to be out and about, in London, bumping into people that you've known for such a short time in length of time, but actually such a long time in depth of the conversations and everything that goes on. It's just been amazing.
It really has, yeah. It's incredible. I can't wait to get over to London and meet everybody, or as many people as I'm going to be able to when I'm there in person. It's going to be a blast. Looking forward to that.
We are. So Brian, sorry, just before, Chris, anyone jump on, Cody, pop on, just anyone that wants to come on, even if you haven't. I want to pick up one person before we go back to the stats, and it's not because it's a comment about me.
I see that.
No, it just goes to show it's Dan, who I speak to very, very regularly on Twitter and social media. And you know what, like we said, we always have a go about social media doing a lot of bad and a lot of horrible things and bullying and whatever. But it's things like this where, like Dan has said, like I was one of his first followers, and it's just interacting and just finding people. When we have this platform, people are going to try and reach out to you or tag you or whatever. And it's nice to just be able to speak with people and meet new people. And obviously Dan has followed us everywhere. So it's always great to see things like that. And before we carry on, there's 2 new people to bring in and 2 people making their debuts on Tottenham on Tour.
Yeah, let's bring him in, man.
So let's bring in Chris.
We got
We
Chris
got
And
Chris.
Adam. Chris, who is a dynamite. I love this dude. And Adam, who I've always spoken to on We Are Tottenham TV, but never on this platform. So both of you, welcome to the channel.
Welcome, lads.
Now we have the 2 Adams.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's 2
Thanks.
Adams.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on, guys. Really appreciate it. This is it's great to be communicating with more of the Tottenham fam.
He's
Nice.
Irish as well, so like
yeah, I was
that's even
gonna
better. That always helps.
Yeah, 2 Adams,
Okay,
2
well-
Irish. That's great.
2 Adams, 2 Irish, 2 Brians, 1 Chris. If there's any other Chris's,
In Hollywood.
I think we need a Canadian. We need a Canadian as well. I wonder who that Canadian could be to level it all up. Cody.
Cody Mack.
I'm
that's
a-
right.
I'm a filmmaker. If that makes up for the Hollywood quota, then that'll
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
yeah,
There you go.
that could do it. That could do it. So sorry, Brian. You were reading out those stats about the content.
Yeah,
effect.
I just thought they were great stats to sort of start the conversation, but we've got 6 on now, so maybe do you want me to read them again, or do you want to just?
Okay, no. I mean, I'll tell you what.
It's
Should we do
pretty-
what we did one time on the 2 Brians? Should we have a question each? Should we go around the panel and everyone answer
Sure.
that question?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to go in order of the people that have appeared on the show. So we'll start with Adam, then as in Adam Cahill, then we're going Chris, then we're going Phil. So Adam will ask a question,
Round the horn.
we'll answer it, then we'll go to Chris, we'll answer it, then we'll go to Phil, blah blah blah. We get the gist. So Adam, what's that you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Okay, so the topic that's been on my mind most recently is with the transfer news is that it seems as though there's a possibility of us getting in either Adama Traore or Kulusevski to play out on the right side of midfield. I don't know whether it's meant to be in a more like which one of them would be. Is it in the more kind of Lucas Moura on the right kind of role where it's kind of like the coming in for the number 10? But it seems as though a lot of the talk is that it's for both of those players to be in combat with Emerson for that right wing back role. So if you had a choice, who would you rather see come in, especially when if it comes to how it would affect our transfer budget? Because you know that Kulusevski's probably going to cost that little bit more.
Do you know what? He's coming at him with a grand slam of a question immediately. Look
Good
at
question. Great question.
Take a sip on his tea of success. Chris, go on, buddy. What's your answer, Chris?
I don't want Adam Traore. I don't want him. He couldn't hit a barn door, so I don't want him.
Useless.
Quite possibly, yeah. I'd rather have him in than Traore. Traore just can't hit a barn door, mate. No, so I'd rather not have him. Even if it is for 20 million. Not
Is
worth
there
it.
a possibility that it's just the fact that he's playing for Wolves, though? Would it make a difference of playing for Tottenham?
Adam, not really, no, because at the end of the day,
Gordy?
he's still, I still don't want him. He's just not good enough.
That's
There we
fair.
go. Phil.
I'm going to take the coward's way out and say, do you know what? I have that much trust in Conte. If he brings in Paul Stalteri tomorrow and says I could do something with it,
Why are you picking on the Canadian? What have I told you about?
he was the only back. Well, I say, okay, Alan Hutton. If he brought Alan Hutton in, I just think I would really hope now that nobody is coming in that he hasn't authorised. So if somebody like an Adama Traore is coming in, then he's earmarked him for a role. And he's another one that's been around the Premier League for a few years now. Conte will know him. He's not going to turn up at the training ground, in the next couple of days and be like, oh my God, he's not a great crosser or not a great finisher. I guess the other thing as well is we're all presuming that he's going to be right wing back. I wonder if he might end up next to Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Versatility.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point, Adam.
Yeah, I think.
No, I mean,
Adam Clarke, go ahead.
We'll go, you'll answer your own question at the end.
Yeah, and
And then we'll go to Chris.
Clarky boy is we're
Go for
calling him, or Clarke
Yeah,
now, just
Clarke,
to,
that's
just
a
to
good point.
clarify.
Clarky boy, and then we'll have Nagel and B1.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'm answering, and then Brian, and
Yeah.
so on and so
Then,
forth.
then Brian, then
Yeah,
Adam will answer his own question, and then Chris will get a question in.
Right, so I'll answer now. So I just choose Traore just because I don't have no clue who the other guy is. I've never heard of him. So I mean, like like the one off-putting thing about Traore is that like Chris said, he couldn't hit a barn door. Like, I mean, like, geez, if he was standing 2 centimeters from it, like, he'd somehow find a way to like drive it way over the roof of it. Like, so other than that, I think he's not a bad playmaker. But I mean, maybe we should be looking for someone slightly better in that department. Like, maybe we let the other guy go, especially if he's going to be more expensive.
Okay, so here we go. My answer, and it gives me a chance to have a go at a parasite. So here we go. Listen,
That was coming. Well, that was coming.
So the thing is,
great start to the new year.
Exactly. There's always time to this. So listen, I'm sick and tired of hearing these transfer rumours that we were linked with players before, and all of a sudden, Antonio Conte, one of the greatest managers in the world, all of a sudden really wanted the kind of players Nuno Espirito Santos wanted, or these are the same rumours getting regurgitated over and over again, manager after manager. I just don't see it. Why does he want Traore? Don't get me wrong, the guy scares the shit out of people at full flow, and he can be a real nuisance, but he delivers nothing. You look at the moment, he's got 0 goals, 0 assists.
Yeah.
That's
what
you're
spending
looking
money
at.
for. It's absurd.
And it's like, it was apparently 50 million and it's now gone down to 20 million. So it kind of fits into the caliber of that certain person. Listen, Cody, stop it. I can see your comment. It's not happening. It's getting to the point now. This is like when we apparently were linked again with the Korean, the monster, that the defender. Apparently, Conte wanted him as well. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sure Nuno and Jose wanted him. So all these managers that wanted these players that they still didn't get, apparently Conte wants the same. What is the common denominator? It's a parasite. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm like Adam. I know hardly anything about that other player, but I already prefer him. But like I've been saying on We Are Tottenham TV today, and I can't go back on myself, if, and it's a big if, Conte says he wants him, that's all I need to know. But I don't think Conte is saying, do you know what? I want Adama Traore.
Yeah, I'm going to, I'm going to agree with the rest of the lads. Adam Cahill, I don't know the other player well enough either, statistically speaking, to have an opinion on it. But he's probably better than Traore, at least based on the statistics of 0 goals and 0 assists. For a player that is supposed to be a playmaker, he doesn't make anything. We already have Lucas Moura, who does basically the same thing that Traore does, and he started to develop some sort of finishing and assisting. So why would you just get another player that does the same job? It doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense, unless he was going to play in that right back position and you were going to convert him to a right back. But he also still can't cross. So I still don't see the point of it. Seems like a waste of money. And yes, a Levy signing potentially because of, he probably sees the value. He can make money off of it in some way, and it makes sense. Brian's position on that makes sense as well. So, neither we need to go bigger. We need a better player than what we already have in those positions. If it's going to be if Doherty's going, we need a better player than Emerson, and we need 2 players that are going to make each other better, like we now have on the left with Cess when he's fit, if he can stay fit, and our other left back, who's my brain farting right now, the Spanish lad. So it has to be sorted out, and I think we're gonna see a big change, but it probably not in January. So get ready, Brian, to be disappointed.
So Adam, what's your answer to that question? Well, I have to
tell us a little bit about the other player, Adam. Tell us a little bit about the other player, because none of us seem to know too much about him.
Yeah, I feel like obviously I've got unfortunately got a bit of an advantage in the sense that I haven't watched. I don't watch Juventus play, but I have been checking out Kulusevski's performances in terms of his highlights and stuff like that. And he seems like he's not only an incredible goal scorer. Like if you look at his highlight reel, the kinds of goals that he scores, he's left-footed, but he can score with his right as well. So a bit of a Heung-min Son, but kind of opposite. So he's able to put the goals away, but he's also his assists are tremendous as well. He's able to cross a ball. He's able to weave through people. He kind of has to a certain extent, I feel like he has a kind of little bit of everything. He's a little bit of Lucas Moura in the way that he's kind of getting around people. So in terms of actual talent, Kulishevsky is definitely the better option. The only difference,
Young too, eh? 21.
21, yeah, absolutely. The main difference between the two of them at the moment, I think, is that we would get a Damatriori for less, which means that we'd have more money. Obviously, whatever the war chest is, it's going to be if we tap into it too much, we're not going to get many other players during the window. So
Adam, basically what you're saying, if we go for him, if we go for Traore, we have more fake money to make fake bids. Gotcha. So we have more monopoly money to buy Park Lane and build Levy Land. I gotcha.
There will be very few transfers, guys, in January.
Oh,
it's gonna be quiet. It's gonna be a quiet January. Get ready for it. Get ready for disappointment because it's always like that in January. January's never a good time to buy players, and there's a reason why. What's his nuts had a problem with January. Hitchens said he hates the January transfer window. You can see why he thinks that way. He should never say it in public. It's an stupid thing to do. But he's right. It is a very difficult time to buy players and buy good players for good prices.
If it's going to be a swap situation, though.
Yeah, and that is a Kulishevsky deal, right? I just was reading about it as you were talking.
Initially, they were saying Lo Celso for Kulishevsky, but now they're saying Nombelli for
either one of them. Either one of them. See ya.
Denny wave to Tanguy. Denny wave.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Uproar.
Then give Ellie away to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Quite possibly. I will say though, just to finish up on that question, I do think that if we were actually able, not that this is going to happen at all, but I would actually take both of those players if they were available to us, to be honest, because I do think Adama Traore would probably, just given the fact, I think his crossing would be better than Emerson's, and I think that given the fact that he is able to just blast through everyone and anyone with his power and his speed, there's no one like him. He's just a locomotive. I would be very happy to see him out on right wing back, and then to see Kulishevsky playing in the Lucas Moura role. So like I wouldn't be upset seeing them come to the team.
If it was a right wing back, if it was if he said I'm going to turn him into a right wing back, and then because we can trust Conte, he can do whatever he wants. He's capable of it. Then yeah, I could see that. But he obviously is going to work on his crossing. But he, if the focus is to be bombing up and down that right side, he would be scary as a right back. He would be sort of similar to what you get with Kyle Walker. Is his defending okay though? Like I'd be worried about that. It wouldn't be so much going forward. It would be more about if he is required to defend. What are we going to see from him? Because he doesn't really have a defensive bone in his body, from what I can tell.
There we go. So that's round the house. Chris, your question, buddy.
What players would you like to see leave in the transfer window in January?
Okay, everyone's struck in. This could be about a 6 hour answer.
It's gotten less for me, but yeah, go on.
I've got two.
Okay, we'll come round to you and your answer at the end before we go because we'll go Phil, Clarke, back to Adam, round. So Phil, who do you want out?
Right, number one, Dele Alli. Then for the cash, number two would be Ndombele. For me, he's done, and then third would be Doherty. I think I can't see us doing any more than that, but those three would be my first three because there's enough there to generate a little bit of income.
Wage bill is huge with those, especially the two.
Yeah, I mean, what Delhi's 150 and Tanguy's 200. So that's 7 million a year off the wage bill. So yeah, without a doubt, those three.
I think this might be quite a quick answer actually. Now, Clarke.
It'll be dead quick because I don't know if I'm a mind reader, but I have the exact same players in mind, like the exact same, no more, no less, like. Basically, because like if we got rid of any more players, we wouldn't even have like a squad left to fill up the subspaces.
Yeah, they need to be replaced for sure.
Yeah, we need to buy more as well. Like if we're getting rid of 3, then at the very least, we need to buy 3.
Oh yeah, good. Carry on dreaming there, Adam. Carry on dreaming there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll carry on talking myself. Is what I'll do.
I would say first Dele Alli, second Dele Alli. Third, Dele Alli.
So there's clones of them now, is
Dele Alli.
Dele and his brother, basically.
So yeah, we need to get rid of all the Delis. We need to get rid of all the Delis, and then basically what Phil said. But I would chuck in a Lo Celso on loan with an option to buy just to get another person off the wage bill. But obviously, with that fourth person going out, that would be on the caveat, and I can't believe that I'm about to say this, that there's a player ready to come in. That would be the caveat for the fourth. But you've got to, like I said, for January, getting players in is just as hard. Getting them out is even harder, I believe, because obviously they know if you're trying to get a player out, you've got a player coming in, and the team that you're kind of linked with to getting the player in knows you're just about to come into some money. So you've got to be very smart in how you operate here. But it will be the three that have been mentioned, and then Lo Celso possibly on loan.
So, Brian, you're preparing yourself for the worst, which is an inevitability, probably.
Listen, mate, I said to myself that if we haven't signed anyone by the 13th, see me at the training ground 14th, I might as well start taking my sleeping
you
gear
just go
off
there now. Yeah.
I just got to start finding some safe
just
places to put my
camping outside.
sleeping gear.
Get your map sorted out and what your route's going to be from where you're.
Exactly. Get my escape route, start chopping out a tunnel underneath so I can run away from what's going to happen when security comes out. We shall see. But yeah, they're the three plus the Celso on loan. Over to you, Ireland.
Yeah, you basically took the words out right from underneath me. I was going to say the same, especially with the Lo Celso one too. I think he has to be replaced, though. Obviously, the glaring hole in our squad is creativity. We're missing what those two players are supposed to do is that transition in the midfield to the forwards, and neither of them are doing a good enough job of it, and neither of them have come close to it consistently since they've been here. We've seen little bits and pieces of it, but they're arguably fighting for the same position, and neither of them are good enough. But we have to replace it with somebody who's very good. That isn't going to happen in January. It just isn't. You're not going to find a player of the caliber that we need in that position. That's going to be something that we're going to have to wait for, which sucks. But so arguably you're only going to be able to get rid of one. You have to keep one around, and I would rather keep Lo Celso at this point, purely based on attitude and what he does for Argentina. Dembele, his body language is crap. He's not interested. He's wanted to go leave the club 3 times already. So off you go, mate. And yeah, otherwise same.
No, go. Adam, what's your transfers out?
To be honest, like I've maintained that now that Conte we've seen what Conte can do with players. I've struggled with the idea of seeing anyone go at the moment because I so badly I wanted out. Eric Dyer, Harry Winks were the 2 primary culprits for me. Like for all during the
it would have been for me too.
Oh man, it was like, I mean, they really like. I felt like they were such weak links. I've said it before that playing with Harry Winks was like playing with 10 men, and all of a sudden we're getting a tremendous. Yeah, it's a totally different. It's night and day. So that for me, I struggle now to kind of know whether or not we're losing someone with potential. If he's able to do that with Harry Winks and he's able to do that with Eric Dyer, what can he do? As far as the Dele Alli situation is concerned, I've said quite a few times now on We Are Tottenham. I think that he's not being played in his appropriate position. He is a 10, and more often than not this season he's been played in an 8 or a 6 role. So I think, like, I'm not saying that he potentially Dele's done. I'm not saying that there. I'm sure there's a revival there waiting for him, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be in a rush to get rid of him either. And I do love Dele, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? He's been with us for so long. There is a special place in my heart for Dele. So Ndombele is the only one. Maybe Joe Rodon, just because he's not getting his game.
I feel for Rodon, but there's got to be something wrong with him, right?
Yeah, there has to be. There's something weird going on there.
3 managers,
We might get a decent bit of money for him, and then Ndombele, just because the guy has 70 minutes in him, and he's not because he's not willing to work hard enough. He can't get himself to the fitness level to play in the Premier League. He would probably absolutely demolish the Serie A, or like if we transfer
back to Liga where he
Bravo,
was very good,
Tyler. Right? Bravo is all I've got to say. That last line is one of the best lines I've ever seen in my life.
He can make chicken soup.
Bravo,
that's
sir.
quality, Tyler. Nice one, mate.
This is what makes it so difficult, though, right? This is what makes it really, really hard. I think Ndombele is the only one that he can't do anything with, because Ndombele is the only one that doesn't want to try.
I love the question when he got asked the question. When Conte got asked the question, what's going on with Ndombele? He's a midfielder, I think.
Yeah. What role has he in the club?
I think he's a midfielder.
He's another midfielder.
Nothing else. It was class. I'm like, he's just taking the piss there. So good.
And he's the one. If we can swap him for Kulusevski, great, amazing.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Win-win.
Love that.
Yeah.
Chris, answer to your own question.
Ndombele, Dele, possibly Rodon on loan or Gio out on loan, just to free up some transfer funds. But Ndombele, the biggest waste of money we've got, 200 grand to sit on the bench. We need to cut his wages out, and Dele as well. 3 years of not trying it, I think it's time for him to leave as well.
100%.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, before we go to first, just a couple of things. First, I want to say about Delhi, obviously, because I just love talking about Delhi. I know what Adam was saying that he's not been playing in his position, but the thing is, what he should be doing right now is if the position's not there and you want to carry on playing and be the Dele Alli you were, you're pigeonholed. You need to
adjust.
adapt to modern football. You need to say, okay, listen, I know we're not playing this formation, but I see myself as a big part player in this team. I'm Dele Alli, and show that arrogance you have in the positive way, not in the negative way that he's been doing and performing. And against Liverpool, he showed he's still got it. But then against Southampton, whereas Harry Winks has grabbed every single opportunity and changed a lot of people's opinions, everyone was going mad, but Dele's back, Dele's back, Dele's back.
He did get played in the right position in that one, Brian, to be fair to him.
No,
He was
I
played
get
for the
that.
club, but I agree with you.
But there's times where football has changed.
Yeah, got to adjust.
So you need to adapt to it. If you're going to be part and you want success, what's he going to go? Oh, if you don't play me in my position, I'm going to cry, or I'm going to go on my game, or I'm going to do a TikTok. Fuck, go piss off and be a man and literally earn your goddamn inflated wages. And the other thing I want to say before we go to Phil's, I just want to have a plug for something me and Brian have got coming up, and which is the main reason we had to push to get to the 1,000, which we've well and truly passed. Everyone here on this panel will know we did a huge mental health show with our old channel, Tottenham Away, on Mental Health Week, May the 4th. Anyone wants to check that show, go check out Tottenham Away, May the 4th. But mental health is something that means a hell of a lot to me and Brian. I've suffered with it for about 20 years. I've also suffered with addiction to cocaine. I've suffered with addiction to alcohol. And we are doing another huge special. Hopefully sometime in January, but with me being here, maybe early February. We've got Sean Wellborn, who is part of Toronto Spurs and works in the National Health, or not National Health, but the Canadian version of the National Health in mental health. We have a wonderful person who is the CEO and founder of a charity here in England called Sport Against Suicide, and we're going to get a lot more of the community to come on. Yeah, we're putting a lot of time and effort into this. It's going to be a real big show to speak about a horrible thing that is being addressed a lot better than it was over the years, and has also been addressed within our community. And Brian Ireland and I have been on this push to get this number because we've both said that the right thing to do is on that show, any super chats that we do get, if we hit the 1,000, which we have, every single penny of it is going to be split 50-50 between mental health organisations in Toronto, Canada, which is where Brian is and where I live now, but I'm here in England at the moment. And the other 50 will go to this charity, Sport Against Suicide, and maybe some other mental health charities. So we really are trying to pick up as many subscribers as we can, so we can put on this really, really good show and try and help a lot of people. So any of you new subscribers or any of you regulars, just if you can share the link to our channel and everything, and just big us up, because the bigger we get, the more people we can reach and maybe help. So that's just the plug I wanted to do on that. And now back to thanks for that party political broadcast. Now back to our normal viewing. Okay, Phil, your question, brother.
Right. Apologies to the panel. Right. So it's obviously been widely reported today that, by a shock horror, there isn't quite as much money as we'd all hoped for. I guess my question is, who's running the football side? So if Paratici is in charge of transfers in and out, why is he not in charge of the budgets? There's my question.
Clarke,
guess who the poor sod who has to answer that question is. I think we all know.
It doesn't matter what you say, Adam. I'm going next, so you can just take it nice and easy, sit on the fence, and I will gladly answer this question. But yes, I can't wait to hear Chris's answer, because I love Chris's answers on these. But yeah, after you, Adam.
I've always said that Paratici is being held back by Levy. I don't care what anyone else says, even though I respect the fact they have an opinion on it. But Levy is the chairman, so therefore, he's probably still running some element of the football side. But we know, Levy's such a control freak, he's just this typical greedy capitalist businessman, and in my opinion, you just know he can't take his grumpy little hands off that thing, control everything. thing. That's why, I mean, that's not healthy. Like, which is why one of the main reasons why I've been always part of the Levy out brigade. Like, since Conte has come in, I've been sort of, like pushed that aside a bit. And now, like, of course, until we'll just see what happens after January. But I swear to God, if he doesn't sign players, like, I am going to be right back on it, and like I'm going to be more committed than I was the first time round. So like, yeah, just in case he is watching it or one of his goons is watching it. But like, I don't even remember the question now, actually, because that's like tangent.
Who's in
on
charge?
the
Who's in charge?
Who's in
Adam?
charge?
Who's in charge? Yeah.
As a wise man beside me says, the parasite.
Correct.
That's my opinion,
Right, your
at
turn, buddy.
least.
My turn. Okay, so before I start, I'm just bring up 2 comments that have come in through there. Or actually, one comment. Dave, just quickly, Bob Spur is still the same. He's fighting. He's breathing a little easier on his back, which has been the real trouble. But he is still not out, by no stretch of the imagination, out of danger. He is still fighting. We are giving updates as often as we can, but at the moment, it's the same as yesterday. He is fighting, but has a lot of fluid on his lungs or in his lungs. So whenever he's on his back, the pressure is not assisting his breathing. His dependency on the ventilator shoots up. But there was a slight improvement today. And if there is any more improvements, I will be posting them when I'm on We Are Tottenham TV tomorrow. But back to it. So the 2 I want to bring up is this one from Paul. Levy is putting his nose into it. And then Tony is down right here with all hell will break loose if Conte is not backed. And I will be, I always love my Snatch. People know I love Snatch. And there's a line where Bricktop says, "You're on thin fucking ice, my pedigree chums, and I will be underneath it when it breaks." Well,
Yeah.
that's basically where I am with Levy. Listen, I said it on We Are Tottenham TV today. The thing that's really annoying me, and I can see through the lies, and I see how this play goes. I've seen it many a time. It's come that Levy is waiting to have this meeting with Conte. They still haven't met. Why should they meet? This is what Paratici was brought in to do. Paratici, a director of football, is the link between the manager to the chairman. So he goes in and has that. That's what he's there for, to alleviate the pressure or relieve the pressure on the manager to try and get what he wants and to help discuss this with the chairman or the parasite. Thanks, Adam. I almost so these things are coming out again, and I can see this. I'm reading between the lines. You look at it. Celtic on New Year's Eve announced that they were signing 3 new players. Everton signed a player or had a bid accepted yesterday. Newcastle made an official approach for Trippier yesterday. There's been more dealings today. Now, as soon as Conte came in, assurances were made. Gentlemen's agreements have been made once again. You go, ha, fooled you. So literally all of these things have been made once again. Conte would have said to Paratici, "These are my targets." There is no doubt in any of our minds that Paratici knows exactly who Conte wants. There's no doubt in my mind that Paratici has told Levy exactly who Conte wants. But then this is where there's a breakdown in communication, or the dog at the facts, or all this nonsense. And it unfortunately, this thing is happening again. I see it.
Well, what have you done here? What have you done? It's going to go on forever.
No. I listen. I've been here, seen that, done that, got the T-shirt. Listen, as people have been saying, if the Levy out people and the staunch Levy out people, we are in a no-win situation. We are in a win-win situation. We either get the back in and this parasite finally listens, or Paratici gets the money and he gets the players in, or, and I'm not saying he'll do it in January, I don't think he will walk it. If he doesn't get back in the summer, we know this man walks. He's done it at Chelsea, he's done it at Inter, and if that happens, as Tony said, all hell will break loose, and I will be at the forefront of it all with the Levy out crew. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to cut you off, mate.
Yeah, please do, because I'll keep going on. I'll end up fighting with myself in a minute.
I'm going to be just a devil's advocate a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
Because somebody's got to be here because we're gonna all everybody's gonna just whinge and complain about Levy, which I is fair. You guys know I don't like him. I don't want him at the club anymore. But I also think it's too soon. It's January 3rd. It's Sunday. To think things are gonna happen already is a bit absurd. I just wanted to bring up Patty's comments here in regards to this. Levy, Conte, Hitch, and Paratici have already had their meeting. Can we just wait until the end of this before we all jump at them again and just wait and see? So this is where I'm at with this situation currently. Certainly, I recognize, Brian, everything you've just said, and Adam, what you've said as well. Those things are true. We know what we've seen in the past, and there's no reason to think that they're going to change in the future. But can we just relax and wait and see? And because this system has been put in place, like you just said, with Paratici being the director of football. If it doesn't work, and if we're not seeing the right communication, we're not seeing those things happen the way they should with this new system, then I agree, guys. I agree. You don't have to. But again, Brian, I'm trying to be the voice of reason here. Let's just like to make the point. Let's give it a week before we freak out. At least a week, maybe two, because I do think it will. I don't think it's something we should be thinking is going to happen in January, as I said previous on in the stream, because that's absurd. Nothing really big happens in January. I think getting players out will be key. If we can get the key players out, I would be more happy with that than worrying about who we bring in and make sure we bring in the right players in the summer. That's what I would like to see, and I think that Paratici is probably the man to make that happen. So that's my slight counter. I still am Levy out. I don't like the guy. I don't want him at the club, but I'm gonna give it a bit of time before I start freaking out.
Adam.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like the anxiety that a lot of people are feeling at the moment is not something that I'm personally experiencing myself.
No.
I feel like the way things are now, we have to at least give a certain acknowledgement to the fact that Levy brought in Paratici and Conte. We have to acknowledge at least it was a massive, huge jump in the right direction.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, so the fact that we're still kind of like, okay, we want to see certain things. It kind of, I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but it kind of begs the question: how many transfers in January are going to be enough for people to be happy, and what kind of caliber of player do they have to be? But without going kind of too far down that route, I would say that
great question.
We have Paratici there, okay? And he was brought in because he's very, very good at very, very specific things. He has a massive Rolodex of people that he has contacts with. He is supposedly very, very good at getting very good players on free transfers. And then he is good at managing the kind of who we get out so that we can get someone in kind of balance. And with that in mind, I would imagine that even if I don't know, none of us know whether the promises of the war chest is true. But what I would say is, at the very least, Conte must have been told, okay, come in, decide which players you want to get rid of. And for every player you get rid of, you can bring in someone new. At least, right? Without talking money. Let's just talk straight swap.
Yeah.
So, and we're already seeing that those kind of deals being done. So I maybe naively, but I'm very, very excited at the possibilities in January based on those two guys having been brought in. Levy may be a parasite and all that, but I'm just looking at Paratici and I'm looking at Conte and I'm going, these guys are the business. They were brought in for a reason, and I'm just assuming that they'll be allowed to do that.
Adam, just to say, I appreciate the reason. It's nice to see. Emotional football fans always go straight to the worst case scenario, and it's nice to see a little bit of reason.
Maybe I'm naive, but
yeah, you could be. I could be too, but it's nice to see.
Just before we go to Chris, we've got a few super chats that have come in, so we'll just do them. So, True Sets Free, a great chat, supporter of all channels.
Fantastic.
Saying Tottenham on tour. That's actually me. Brian Dutt didn't tell me that he'd actually pre-recorded me saying that when he made that great track.
For the intro, yeah.
I shouldn't read this super chat, so my head will go boom. So it's basically, is that the legend Brian Daigle on the lead track? Happy New Year to you all. God bless you. This guy is a tremendous supporter of all the channels, and it's great to. Yeah. He keeps missing when we do these pop-ups. So he kept saying, "I will get one of them." So he's finally got round to one of them, which is always fantastic. He's there again. A team panel everywhere we go.
Much for the support.
And then I've seen. Oh, there's more coming in. There's from Kuva.
Big up Cuba.
Cuba's a great supporter of all
Love
teams.
Cuba.
Again, if Daniel Levy didn't exist, I'd never have got to know any of you. I'm not saying
See,
you
call him
almost
the
got me.
comedian at the Harris Army.
Oh,
Don't
See,
you?
that's
Well,
positive
don't
thinking
say,
right
we'll be
there. You
clear.
know?
yeah, but I stopped there.
I mean, like,
stopped there.
you can't disagree with him,
I'm
man.
so happy I stopped because I know for a fact Cody would have been there because I've just seen what the first hashtag was and I almost read it and Cody would have clipped the crap out of that. So Levy something, hashtag comedy Spurs love, Daigle,
Let go of your hatred.
Let go of your hatred.
Let go of your hatred. There you go. Never, never, ever, ever. And there's another one from obviously Truth Sets Free, Heart for Bob Spur. The support this man has been getting has been absolutely sensational. Guys, I am just going to very, very quickly go to the bathroom. Oh, there's another one from
Just two more.
Okay, you
Legend
go through
himself.
them. I need to go to the bathroom
Yeah,
and have
no
a very
worries.
cheeky cigarette.
The Tottenham Tantrum Gold channel, which we're blessed to have someone with us as well. But thank you for the support, appreciate it. Also, just not a super chat, but a super chat because of who's posted it. What's up? It's probably Ben. Ben, feel free to hop on. We'll take the max of 6 out of commish if you decide to join us because you're a legend. We'd love to have you on. Fantastic, and of course, True Sets Free again with another one. Amazing. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. I think we were at. Had Chris answered the question yet? Yeah, Chris, it's up to you to respond to that now. It's a long time to wait to get to you, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'm looking forward to this already.
This is going to be entertaining, isn't it? Right. I still believe that Paratici's strings are being pulled by Levy. That little parasite is still doing what he does best. He's still doing it. I will believe it when I see the signings actually come through the door and holding that Tottenham shirt. Until then, I still don't trust the little parasite. I will never trust the little parasite. And I believe that Paratici's strings are being pulled. That's my answer for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny one. I think it's a one that does divide Spurs fans. Fortunately, on this channel, we allow different opinions, right?
Right, let me just stop you there. Right, ask me this on the 31st of January. Ask me the same question again on the 31st of January.
I will,
then you'll get the full blown answer. This is
for sure. I also think that Spurs fans need to realize, like, you're not going to get everything you want in January. You just aren't. It doesn't happen in January, and the quality of players we want to get don't come in January, and it just isn't going to happen. We're going to be a very disappointed fan base if the expectation is we're going to deal with those 3 positions. We're going to get 3 really top quality players in those positions that we need. Maybe the 4th if we've blown somebody out. It isn't going to happen in January. You're going to be disappointed. Be prepared for it. And I know that's going to, Bry's going to rant. Chris, you're probably going to rant. I'm going to say the same thing. Wait till the summer. The summer is when things will happen. If they happen, if that doesn't happen in the summer and we don't see any outgoings, because the key is going to be in January outgoings. That's the most important thing to see happen. If we see 2 or 3 of the outgoings that we want to see, I'm happy with that. That's thinning the squad, thinning the wage bill, and putting us in a position in the summer to do what we need to do to get to that place where we need to be. That's my thought. My ending thought on it. Sorry.
As Bob would have said, when the shirt's in the hand, then we believe.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I have no problem with that. I just think this expectation of things in January is over. It just isn't going to happen, and everybody's going to be disappointed. Great question though, Phil. Thanks for stirring the pot up here.
More subscribers incoming.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that's where I was coming to. What are your thoughts on it?
I honestly, deep down, believe that it's set up that Paratici runs the football side. And I don't believe anyone's going to come in without Conte's blessing. That's the positive bit. I still think Levy is going to struggle to let go or make compromises around what goes on. And I want to be able to sit and say, unlike everyone else, let's just wait and see. Let's trust. But it's a massive job out there that they've got to do. Yeah. Realistically, even if the 11 started yesterday, we could probably still bin off 4 or 5 people. And then when you add Lloris potentially going, it makes a big impact on any potential transfer budget. But they've got to look, and you've got to say whatever Conte wants first. So whether that's right back, centre back, striker, reserve goalie, whatever that is, that's what we've got to go for. But I hate January because it's such a struggle. There are so not difficult. Many great players that get signed. You know, if we look at somebody like Kessie, whilst I'd sit and quite happily say, just offer 15 million and get the deal done. Do AC Milan want to let him go? And does he want to come to us when he could be there winning a trophy?
Yep.
So I think there's just a lot to go. I'm nervously anticipating, what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be meltdowns from Spurs fans again when we don't get all the things that we want to get, which is an inevitability in January. I don't think
the only thing I would say is
anything more than that.
Before I went to the last game, Graham Roberts was doing a talk in the shop, and somebody said to him about transfers, and he's working for the club, but he was talking like a fan, and he was like, "My understanding is 2 to 3 in January, but in the summer it will be between 6 and 8." And that makes a lot of sense. We'd all love 8 people in January, but we all know that's never going to happen unless you start offering such ridiculous money. You'd need Newcastle money for us, wouldn't you? To be
we all know that isn't going to change at Spurs, right?
No.
The wage bill is not going to be structure is not going to be chucked out the window. So, I just want to true sets free, Nate.
Oh wow!
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, man. It's incredible that people do. I don't have words for it when people do it, because it's kind of like, you don't have to do that, man. But thank you, and we really appreciate your support. Brad, you want to keep going? I think it's Clarke Boy's turn.
It's Clarke Boys, and true sets free. Thank you. I saw that Ben is in the chat.
He is.
He is saying he's trying to get me to sing the song. Ben, it's not going to happen. We've just had another super chat come in just very quickly from Jason. He hasn't put any comments on, but cheers, Jason, brother. And one thing I will say, we're going to make room for one more. I'm going to put the link in, and I've had a certain Alex Davies.
Oh
wants to
my!
come on.
Himself.
So it's always great to get Alex on. So Alex, I'm just about to put the link in, and then we're going to go around the table. You're going to have to join in the fun of going around and asking questions. But Alex, the link is there now for you to join. If anyone else wants to join, we are going to bring people on. But yeah, Alex,
we will have to kick some of you guys out, though, unfortunately, to bring people in, because we don't want to screen with 10 people or 15 people on it that people can't get in. And you sit there for 20 minutes and don't get to talk. We want to make sure everybody gets to speak. So sorry, I just wanted to add that.
Is it Clarke? Your question.
Right. Do you think we'll get Vlahovic either or the summer, if at all?
That's me first.
Yes, it is.
I keep saying this. I can't remember a time when there's been a player like, we're normally linked with a striker, or we're linked with this one, we're linked with that position, and there's normally a few people or within the huge Spurs community that say, "Oh, I want this player. Yes, I want that player. No, I want this player. I know I want that player." But I think if you went around asking a lot of people in the Spurs community, what striker do you want? I would say on a very, very large majority, like overwhelming majority, people would say 2 words, as Phil's just hold up, and those 2 words are Dusan Vlahovic, without a doubt. Let me just bring up Lazy 8 Nick. I just want to say thank you for your super chat, mate.
Yes,
a contract for Hugo, I'm sure we'll discuss that, but this is absolutely huge. He has to come in. So thank you once again, Nick, for the
definite yes
for
me on
super
that.
chat. But yeah, Dusan Vlahovic for me. I mean, I didn't know a lot about him. And people that will remember when we had the great Jack Kanicki, when we were doing the 2 Bryans, I couldn't even pronounce his name. I couldn't even pronounce his name.
You nailed it.
I used to have to say that Fiorentina dude, or I'd say Dusan, and Jack would say Vlahovic. The thing I've loved about Dusan as well is it's got to the point now where he said he's not signing a contract for Fiorentina, and he has shown great maturity and a great attitude to say, right, I'm not signing, but listen, I am going to give you every damn thing I've got. And it's like Luka Modric did before he got his Madrid move. And I don't know enough about him to say, yes, he's the exact one we need, but I've seen enough of him to say, yeah, do you know what? I would love to give it a go. So I'm a huge yes. I just want to say, James, I can't wait to get back to Toronto to watch the game with you in Scotland Yard. Very much come on, you Spurs. But yeah, over to you, Ireland.
Yeah, Vlahovic for me, just based on who's available and what it is that we need, somebody to challenge Harry, but also potentially play beside him in a 3-5-2, which is what Conte played at Inter. My understanding from what I've read recently, and there was a good article that was talking about where he wants to go. Obviously, there's other teams in for him. I think it was his management were saying that essentially that they think Spurs is the next best step for him before arguably he maybe goes to a bigger side that can afford bigger wages, but it's a good next destination, and that they're looking at it seriously. I don't know how true those things are. You see those things in the media. I think could have been Football London, and sometimes Football London can be utter nonsense. So I would maybe take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But if there is a chance of getting Vlahovic in, then get him in. I mean, we've been desperate, not for a backup, but for another striker, another player that's going to score goals, that's going to play either beside Kane or give Kane a rest sometimes, or to maybe just battle for that position. We don't think Kane's going to lose it, but if he has somebody next to him is as good as him or can bang the goals in the same way, then he's going to even up his game even more, which means we have a better Harry Kane. So yeah, 100% Vlahovic for me would be an amazing addition to the squad.
Okay, Adam, just before you go, True Set 3 is on fire right now.
Oh my goodness.
What a legend, honestly.
Amazing.
We're keeping up the great content. Like I said, guys, what we plan to do we have had so many ideas. We've had conversations before I came back here with Adam, and obviously the fourth person in our group, Danny Kiriakou. Danny Kiriakou, who should have been here today, but he has just said
stuck at the airport or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's stuck at the airport trying to get back from Amsterdam, so he will not be able to make it. But there's so much news, like we said, the mental health show, which we're going to keep going regularly with because it's a subject that needs to be done. That is going to be like a huge flagship show for us. We have our regular podcast.
This pop-up is going to be.
This pop-up is going to be just. We've done it there's 71 people in the chat now, and this is just with we did it once with Danny. Once we officially knew that Danny was coming, we did it on Thursday with Phil, and we've done it today just because we wanted to come on and say thank you to everyone. And these pop-ups seem to be incredible, and you enjoy it, so we're planning to do this. There are so many other shows with me and Adam are meant to be doing a show. Danny wants to do a show, pre-match show and everything. So there is so much coming. So the content will be coming thick and fast. So just thank you, like we said, for all your support, guys. And Adam, back to you, buddy.
Cheers, man. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and say that Dusan Vlahovic may end up being a little bit of a problem if it ends up being the case that there's too much competition between himself and Harry Kane. I think when we had someone like a Vinicius in the club, even though he wasn't a tremendous player for giving us a ton of goals, he was never a threat to Harry. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think Dusan Vlahovic can. So my thing is, like, are we getting someone that we can rotate, or are we getting someone that is playing up front with Harry? And at which point, what happens to Heung-min Son, who is, like, for me, is the be all and end all. So I think I'd rather have a player where someone who's not going to threaten Harry, someone who you can rotate every so often, and someone who could potentially, if you ever needed to, you could play them in a three up front together. So I would put two nominations forward, if I may. I would say Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez, because I think that he wouldn't be. I don't think he'd be a threat to Harry Kane, but he's also a tremendous striker. He's incredible. He was doing all sorts with Romelu Lukaku last season, and I think that he's also able to play in that number 10 role behind Harry. And then I also think that there were a lot of reports saying that we were in competition with Manchester United to get the other Argentinian, Julian Alvarez. And I think that he's another, like, he's really young. He's one for the future, but he's also, like, I follow him on Instagram at the minute, and he's just constantly putting up all of his latest exploits, and he's a machine. He really is. But again, he's not going to play. He's not going to be threatening the talisman position.
Upsetting the apple cart, essentially.
Exactly. That's something I don't want to see. If we were sure we were going to sell Harry Kane, then I'd say, okay, bring in Vlahovic and Alvarez. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll get two strikers in with the Harry Kane money. But if we don't want to, as you exactly spot on, upset the apple cart, I think maybe it might be better to go for someone like a Julian Alvarez.
Okay,
Fair show, fair
Chris,
show.
before you guys, we've got another super chat coming, which is big up everyone for Chris Wilkinson. And just above that, there's a question from Paul Russell. But what I suggest, guys, I can see a lot of questions coming through. But what I think we should do is once we've gone round the shoehorn and everyone's asked a question, we'll just have a little section where you guys just chuck questions at us, and we'll answer them as they come in, because they're getting lost with the chat with the question we're answering. So I reckon once we've gone round the shoehorn, we'll have a section where you guys just keep chucking in questions, and we'll get through as many of them as we can, because then we're not going to miss them, so to speak. So,
and Brad, we've got a couple more super chats. True
go on, off you go, buddy.
Keeps killing him with this.
This guy keeps going, man.
Unreal. And then, of course, Kuva's giving us another one as well. Hollywood Phil Careers taking off in style. Can we have inside a pair of your under Skippy's belt? We're huge fans. Left from Building. Cheers, guys. Fantastic. Thanks so much. Oh, man. And another one from True Sense Free.
He's on fire.
On fire,
Jeez,
yeah.
man.
So where were we? Chris's turn, right? Yeah.
Jason Vlahovic, yeah, I'll take him. Definitely. I think he'll work wonders up front with Kane, and some playing off him as well. I think that it could be a lethal front three.
Yeah.
That's it. That's basically it. It's a basic front three of Vlahovic, Son, and Kane. That would be a lethal combination.
This is the thing. I mean, I'm just going to add with Chris before we go to Phil. You got to remember the days when we used to have 4 strikers, and every other team have strikers. They have strikers for competition. I completely get where Adam is coming from. I completely get it. But we're saying that when he says too much competition, it's like we've had no competition for that position. And it's not even just competition. It's if Kane picks up his obligatory one injury a season out for a few weeks, then we have to start shuffling the deck to find, right, this one goes here, then we put this one there, and then that one there. There needs to be competition now. Like Harry, and I keep using this comment all the time, when we were going for the Champions League and Harry Redknapp was like, well, you're not playing this one and you're not playing that one and you're playing this one and then you're rotating. How do you keep these players happy? And Harry Redknapp turned around and said, listen, it's not my job to make them happy. It's their job to make me happy. And that's what this has come down to. We need competition. That's how we get better. That's how Tottenham gets stronger. And as I've said on all the streams I go on, as much as I love Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I'm using him because everyone knows he's my favourite player. If you can get an upgrade on him, you get an upgrade on him. Enough of this sentiment and everything. We need players that will get us over the line. And at the moment, these players consistently haven't got us over the line. So that's what I just wanted to respond on that. Phil, over to you, buddy.
For me, very quick, absolutely. I don't look at it as competition for Harry. I look at it as someone to play alongside Harry, but somebody who's very different. Big, powerful, strong. They talked yesterday, 29 crosses came in the first half. Who put a head on that ball? Nobody. Your Vlahovic is that type of person. And you stole my thunder there. We used to have 4 strikers, and any 2 of those would play. Now we have one who's probably better than all of those. But if Harry goes down against Wycombe Wanderers, what do we do in the North London derby against Chelsea? We have to put a square peg in a round hole. Yes, it's expensive, but the second he signs a contract, if he's worth 70 million and we're paying for him with 18 months, what does his value go to? And then more importantly, what is Antonio Conte going to do with him? Use Victor Moses as an example and think how good he got him. What could he do with Dusan Vlahovic?
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think that if you move to that 3-5-2, which is what, when we played Liverpool, we played in that 3-5-2, he'd be perfect for playing alongside Kane in that front too. It would just be lethal, like ridiculously lethal. So yeah, change the system a little bit.
That's a strike force to dream of for us, isn't it? And 100%. Then it's a nice problem to have if you're like, well, where will Son go? That's not our problem. That's Conte.
Yeah, they got to earn their spot each week. Who's better trained? Who's more fit? Who's ready to go? And of course, there are going to be injuries, and so you have depth in the position. This is
it will depend who you play, what formation, which way you go. For me, it's an absolute must.
Vlahovic is the right answer, guys. I'm just talking to the contrast.
Yeah.
You're doing a good Brian Ireland.
Yeah, you do. You know what I do.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Put it this way, Adam. If Brian Ireland never can't make it, we need someone to be the controversial, sit on the fence, and then do everything.
Not on the fence at all.
We're devil's advocate, man. Devil's advocate.
Not on the fence.
But that was the same thing.
They're not the same thing. No.
Call me anytime, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Adam,
Adam,
I
your
think
turn to
Clarke,
answer your own
what's your
question.
answer to your own question?
Well, like I think we all know at this point that I think Vlahovic any day of the week, but like I'm not sure. My honest answer is I don't like. I'm speaking with my brain here when I say this, but I don't think we're going to get him in January. I'm not even sure.
I
Like
don't
with
think
this
so,
board,
January
we're going to
either.
get him in summer. Like, but I hope to God we're going to get him in January because we need a striker, and he would be the absolute. I think, in my opinion, anyway. He'd be the ideal striker to go, or at least partner Kane. Like, now, I don't know what the formation would be with Kane, Son, and Vlahovic if we got him in. Like, because I personally don't think Kane doesn't really play that well as he can. Like, if he's in a like say a
3.
a 3, yeah. So, or like we'd see. But like, look at if we get him in, it'd be a good start anyway. Like, we'd have to take us one step at a time. Like, I'm like, but honestly, with my heart, I'd say yeah, of course, 100% we're going to get him in January. With my brain. Yeah, like I mean, my brain is a cynical bastard anyway, so it says no, and it says we're going to probably we'd more like to get him in the summer.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
Okay, my question, and I can't remember who posted it, and I saw the question from the very beginning, and I was like, no one bring up this question, no one say this question. I can't remember who it was, so whoever it was, just say that was my question in the comments. Would you rather win the North London derby or the second leg with Chelsea? Forget what the first leg was. What's more important to you at the new White Hart Lane Stadium? A victory against Chelsea with the Conte
Can we go the other way around?
derby? No, this is the shit. Or do you want to win against the filth?
Easy, man.
I mean, I want to win. I want a trophy, so I'm going to go. What's going to get me closer to the trophy? So the Chelsea game.
Okay. Adam.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Adam. I thought the other Adam was talking. It was you. Yeah, sorry, Adam. My bad.
Yeah, no. I think at the end of the day, it's a bigger finger to the filth if we win a trophy and they win nothing. You know, rather than they come to us.
Yeah, you still get them a little bit, right? So
exactly. They can take 3 points all they want. We'll have the silverware. Brian. Thanks very much. You know, so yeah.
Yeah,
Chris.
I want to beat the filth. That's the one day. That's like a second birthday. Just beating the filth, just season after season at our ground.
I can't disagree with that. That's why I didn't want to answer the question first. Every time I think about it, I'm like, maybe I should switch to that. You know.
Phil.
There's nothing better than beating the filth.
Oh, I agree. It's so good.
It's got to be Arsenal because the league form drives the money, the prestigious. If we get that 4th spot, you know, that's a big step. Arsenal are there to challenge us there. So with the games we've got in hand and beating Arsenal, it gives us that momentum. It's a bigger day. And then you just hope that we do something in the away leg, so it's not so important. But yeah, Arsenal.
It's Tony's.
Tony.
It was Tony. I have to say, Tony, thank you from the bottom of our hearts because you put a tweet out yesterday, 4 pages long, of all the great Tottenham channels and great Tottenham content, and we were one of the first ones you mentioned, Tony. So thank you very, very, very much indeed for that. Adam, your answer to the question.
Chelsea. I mean, okay. Think of it this way: if we beat Chelsea and win a trophy, Conte will 100% stay. So then we can beat Arsenal however many times we like. Like there'll be more North London derbies down the road. Like I literally just thought that 5 seconds ago. I don't know.
We'll get another chance to do it again, Adam.
So listen. I mean, my answer to my question. Listen, I've been saying for ages and ages and ages, all I want to see is a trophy. It's all I want to see. I need to see a trophy. But I'm going for the filth. And I'm just programmed that way. The filth, as much as I hate Chelsea, I can't stand I cannot physically stand them. And the very fact that I'm going to that game and I haven't been to a North London derby for so many years, and the fact it's at the new stadium, and the fact that literally, like Phil said, the league is looking very, very tight. And obviously, we've got these couple of games in hand. 3, if you include Burnley. But I think Arsenal have had a game postponed anyway, so it kind of is 2 against them. But potentially we have 3 games in hand on some other teams. and we've got them so soon. I would give blood, sweat, and tears for a victory against the Filth when I'm there. There is honestly, there's the one game.
Yeah, that's why you care so much about it, because you'll be at the game. I'd be curious if you weren't going and you were in Canada, if you'd feel the same way.
Even if I was in Canada, I'd say the same. There is just something when it comes to playing them lot. Like literally, as people know, I don't wear anything red. I won't drive, so I won't use a red pen. My dad once got a courtesy car when he had to put his car in for a service or whatever, and literally it got to the point where they delivered a red courtesy car, and my dad said, "Well, you can fucking take that back," because he wouldn't get in it and drive it. That's how it's from deep. And I'll tell you nothing that what my dad did every summer. Now people here will remember or know what I'm talking about. When my dad worked very long and hard when me and my sister were growing up to make sure we could have everything we needed, and one of the things he used to do is he used to take a day off work and take me and my sister out on the travel card. We go to Buckingham Palace and do all these things. And my dad always used to say, when we get to Arsenal Station, he used to say, when the doors open up, you have to hold your breath and cover your mouth because all the Arsenal fumes and lurgies and everything is going to come in. So you've got to wait till the door's shut before you can let. And still to this day, I even told Phil about this on the train in.
And I did it today in respect to you and your dad. I literally sat there on the tube and went,
yeah, there you go. And that's from being an 8-year-old kid, and I'm 42 years old now. So when it comes to that, there'll always be Arsenal. But just quickly, we got the super chat in from Adam as well, saying it has to be Chelsea. They have been a thorn in our side during the cup competitions for too long. Beating them is critical, maintaining them. I get it, but it just runs a lot deeper for me with the Filth. But there were some great answers, and Brian, your question, but we're going to have an extra person to answer this question,
bring in Alex.
and then we'll get Alex to ask his question, and then we're going to go to the panel.
Go ahead,
Ryan,
Clarky boy.
Ryan, going back on you hating all things red, you would absolutely hate my brother. Because he wears nothing but red all the time, man, and his favorite color is red and all this crack. But thankfully, he's not an Arsenal fan, so you know.
That's all right then. Listen, other people that wear red, my wife loves wearing red. I don't care. Yeah. She can wear red all she wants. And living in Canada, my mother-in-law has put so much red on me. And I'm like, take that back. So I get other people. This is my issue. It's
not just yours, Brian. I follow our local football club is Toronto FC. Their colors are red, and I refuse to buy a kit. I refuse to buy any. I bought like a gray jacket. I bought a camouflage shirt they did for one, but I will not buy a red shirt. I won't put it on.
There we go. So first of all, Alex, before just everyone welcome Alex, a very good friend of ours, and he's very quiet. He's not opinionated at all. He doesn't have a lot to say. He's just here. He's got the best smile on YouTube. That's for damn sure. There it is. There it is.
Ryan,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Ryan, stop being so kind, bro. Stop being so kind. We all know that you're a very nice bloke, but I'm not going to be here that long. Good. Big up to all everybody, by the way. I'm going to be short and sweet. I've got to be honest. A load of people are talking a load of rubbish. I've got to be honest. No,
here we go.
No, I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. I mean, I've been to every single home game of the Premier League. To be honest with you, I've been to every single home game. Okay, no disrespect to anybody can't go because we all know that it's not easy to get to games. It's not easy, but the only game at the moment since Conte's been in at Tottenham that I've thought is really good was Liverpool, and I was actually buzzing after that game. I've got to be honest, that was the only game. Let's look at it. Leeds were lucky. Let's be honest. Norwich should have scored.
Are we getting a rant here, Alex? Is this what's happening?
Yeah, let Alex have his rant.
All right, cool.
Because I could have done this at David's channel, but he's been hiding. Let's be honest here. Anyway, move on. I've told it to his face anyway. Don't worry. I've told it to his face anyway, so don't worry. But I love him anyway. Moving on. Anyway, right. West Ham. Let's be honest. The second half, bloody hell! If honestly, they were on us. Let's be honest. They should have got a draw out that game. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? And then Crystal Palace, it's only a sending off, and that was it. Now I've watched back the Southampton game. People saying about Ali, by the way, there was a mark on him all game that game, and then he got sent off, and then no one was passing to him. So let's be honest here, and there was just no movement up front, which has been a problem for Tottenham for about a couple of years now. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? So all I can say is I'm not going to answer the top 4 question because I've already answered the question already. We're not getting 73 points or 74 points to get top 4. So we're not getting top 4. Not to worry, Tottenham fans. Arsenal are getting top 4 either because they're not getting there either. You know what I mean? Man United are literally giving it away. No, until they sort themselves out, they'll get top 4. Simple as that. So until April, I'm not changing. That's it. Simple. You know what I mean? So that's all they need to say. You know what I mean? So
Alex, can I respond to you? Because I basically agree with everything you just said, which is probably going to surprise a lot of people. But I don't think we have played very well. I think that we've gotten over the line in ways that we wouldn't have previously. We've improved. We're not playing well, but we've improved. The amount of shots on goals increased, averaging around 20 per game. We were averaging around 1 or 2 per game before. So there has been improvement. Our defense, we've 4 goals since Conte's come in, scored against us. 4 goals. That's it. That's 2 of those were Liverpool. So a lot of clean sheets. We've improved. Not to say that we don't have room for much more improvement, and I do think the top 4 is not likely. I think that it's going to be really hard to get there. There's a few other teams that are right there with us, and I can't say we won't get it, but I don't think it's likely. I don't think it'll be United to get it. I think it'll be Arsenal or West Ham. But I feel you. I don't think it's not like, oh my God, we're so good now. It's that Liverpool game was the closest I've seen to what I think we should be playing like. And that does come to my question, which for the panel is formation.
Before you say that, Brian, say that, just get some light-hearted
transition. You always
no, mate. We have an obligation. We have an obligation to do things right now because we've reached this. I'm not going to stop. We're not going to stop doing that. So just to have a nice, light-hearted bit of relief, it's just a 2-word answer from everyone because Kuva being Kuva has put in a super chat just to ease some tension. Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble?
I'm a Betty Rubble fan.
I'm the same. I'm the same. I'm a Betty Rubble. So let's have hands up for Betty Rubble. Okay, we got some Wilmas in the house. Okay. So there you go. Thank you for the
question to answer. Interrupt me for there, Brian. That was important question.
Mate, it's a super chat. We have to. It's an obligation we have to do. So
all right,
over to you, Brian.
So my question, and my question is about you can take that one off the screen now, Brian.
Yep.
My question is about formation. The best game we played this season so far, and agree with Alex on this, is that Liverpool game. It's the most cohesive football we've played. It's the best attacking football we've played. The getting Dele Alli into the box again, finally, which we hadn't seen in a long time, playing in the right position, which is where he should be in at 10 and sort of overlapping with Kane, is a 3-5-2, playing 3 in the midfield and having 2 up top. Why isn't Conte doing that? And do you agree? Do you think we should be playing a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2? That's my question. Okay,
so we'll go Alex, Adam, and then snake our way up. So Alex, you're answering the question first, buddy. But first of all, again, truth sets free. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts again. You're going for watching paint dry FC, aka Chelsea. Okay,
that's my own heart.
Alex, over to you, buddy.
I would say maybe a 5-3-2 possibly, because I don't enjoy that formation. I don't like that lineup. I really do not like that lineup. I don't rate Emerson at the moment. I think he's raw. He's raw. Technically, he's raw, so he needs time. Reguilon is not impressed me. I think Session looked better in him. Session looked much better in him at Liverpool. He attacks more, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I don't even know why people had to go at Doherty, because to be honest with you, against Southampton, he was actually not that bad. I don't like Doherty. Let me get this right. I do not like Doherty. You know what I mean? I want him gone. But he did not look too bad.
He was all right. He was
not that bad, to be honest with you. He should have scored. You know what I mean? But I think that's what it suits us at the moment, I would say, at the moment. I know Kane's staying. I don't get it anymore with him anymore, to be honest. I think he's outgrown us. I've got to be honest. I've said it on my channel anyway, so I'm sticking by it. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I just don't like this whole thing about we need to keep Kane happy and everything else. It just, for me, it's not Kane FC. Like I said, it's Tottenham FC. You know what I mean? Look at Leicester. Look at West Ham. Have they got great players? but they're still.
All right, let's stick with the question here, though, fella. We got to get.
That's what I'm trying to say. But the formation at the moment, I just think that's where I'm stuck at the moment. I think that's where I think we're suited at the moment. That's what I'm trying to say at the moment. I think
so 5 instead of
five,
instead of the wing backs, you're saying don't have wing backs, play 5 at the back and 3 in the midfield.
Yeah, but
I think it's kind of the same system, like, but it's in the final third you're playing wing backs and defending you're playing 5 at the back. So it's you sort of transition between the two. But I think I think it's the best we've looked. Chris, I think you're up next, mate.
Right. First of all, I just want to know one thing, right?
Adam, then Chris.
Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't know. I thought we were going to go.
Adam, then Chris.
Sure.
So if anybody who's seen me on We Are Tottenham TV for the last many months have heard me say that I've wanted a 5-3-2 for the longest time. This is back when we had Nuno and we were playing with the 3-4-3. Oh no, we played 4-3-3. 4-3-3, yeah. 4-3-3, and I was so happy when Conte came in and changed things up. And but I do think that I just feel like we're a little bit thin in the midfield with just Højbjerg and Skip, or getting Winks in, in rotation, whatever. I think we're a little bit thin in the center of the park with the 3 up front. So I think 3-5-2, and I would like. I mean, people are saying that they're trying to move Son into a more central role. If we did get someone like a Vlahovic in, I think it would be an incredible. It would be an incredible lineup up front to have a kind of Vlahovic and Son playing just behind them, and he's always able to bomb on ahead if he needs to. I just think it's the strongest formation with the players that we've got, at the very least. But I also think that it's where Conte is. That's the team that's the formation that he's used to winning things with, and we know he's a serial winner. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There we go. And I just want to say before Chris goes, Dan, we are 100% meeting up. We'll communicate on social media and make sure that we meet up 1 billion%. Over to you, Chris.
Right. First of all, right now, I'll play a 3-5-2 because that's the things what our team suits our formation the best. I wouldn't have Dele Alli in the team. I would still keep him on the bench because he's the one player I don't want to see on the team, if I'm honest. If I'm brutally honest. I don't see what he's done for the last 3 years to warrant being in the first team. Right? He had one good game against Liverpool and everybody said he was back. And then he went back to his usual standards. So I don't want to see him in the team. But the problem is with the midfield at the moment, there's nothing air attacking for that to happen because you've got Skipping, Højbjerg who are defensive. So it's a catch-22 situation. We need somebody attacking in that midfield to make that formation work.
Yeah, sure.
So over to you, buddy.
Do you know what? Formation-wise, I think that's just basically where you line your team up. I think it's the individual roles and everything that they're given. I honestly don't think he's got the players that he trusts and needs in to be able to install whatever system he wants. But I would definitely I think the Liverpool performance, as Alex said, was the best one. It's what you do with the three midfielders. And I think that's what needs looking at. But the 2 up front certainly works. I don't like the 3-4-3. For me, feels we're just too stretched. We're just too packed in the middle. We saw that yesterday. It just looked sluggish yesterday.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone back to it after it worked so well at Liverpool. Why didn't I thought we'd see him stick with it a little bit, or at least we'd see it in the last couple of games, but it hasn't happened. He did shift to it, I think, when he brought some subs on and we went to 3 in the middle and took back the control over the game again when we did it. So I think we just definitely need the 3 in the mid.
Clarke boy, before you carry on, we just got a couple of super chats again. So Joseph, congratulations on us hitting the 1K. Thank you for your support. I know you're a big supporter. And then we've got a couple more. We've got from Jackie Boy, who used to be a part of Tottenham On Tour, with us, and said, Alex,
you can see the smile at the bottom of the screen.
We've asked you what days, times, and shows you'll be available, but constantly over the last few months. So who's hiding again? And then Jack's coming again and said, "Congrats on hitting the 1K."
Thanks, Jackie boy. I apprate it. I love you, Jack. Called you.
Thanks, Jackie boy.
He's a good guy. He's a good boy. He's a good man. He's a good man.
That's a tough one because I mean, yeah, I kind of agree that Liverpool overall was our best performance, even though we didn't win. But like, I mean, we all know how good Liverpool are even though this season and last season they have a tendency to bottle things. And but if he does, maybe he could go back to that formation. But I'm not sure, like, because that means Ali would have to play more, or wouldn't it? So I'm not sure about that. I think he'd be better off going to Newcastle. That's like, but I like the formation we have at the minute. I just think that we need the players to make that formation better. And look, I will never, I don't claim to be an expert in formations at all. Like, but it doesn't take it doesn't take much to realize that Nuno's type of formations did not work out for us. Harry Kane was like almost like basically null and void whenever we played like 3-4 or 3 or like 4-4-3, whatever he was trying to do. Like, but that's I put that down to him being down to his depth, out of his depth, to be honest. But
yeah,
like,
interestingly, to add to that, Clarke boy, is it worked without Kane, and I think that when you add Kane to that 4-3-3
at one time, against
City in the first 3 games. I mean, we went unbeaten the first 3 games, and they all looked relatively solid. As soon as Kane came in, I think it was the 4th game. All of a sudden, that fell apart. So it doesn't work with the way he plays for sure.
So anyway, long answer short, I'd stick with the current formation, and basically, if we bring in like your quality players, I'd like to see what happens with it. But like, I really don't know, to be honest, because I'm not an expert in formations or tactics. Like, I just hope we win.
Yeah, fair point.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I'm pretty much, Scott Edmonds said it as well. I said when we started playing 3-4-3, exactly what you guys have just said. When you have Kane there, Kane slows the game down, and that's not criticism of him. It just doesn't work in that formation. If you look at the game against Man City, where we did play with 3 up top, you have some Bergwijn and more up, pace, stamina, and everything, able to interchange, do their things. And it looked like it could flourish if they could stay fit and if it carried on. I think Kane, and again, it's not a criticism, slows the game down because of his way of passing, the way he sees the game in a Sheringham-esque kind of thing. And when you've got the best number 9 in the world who plays up top by himself or in a 2 where someone drops deep, or he's the one that drops deep, why are you even trying to find another formation to suit him? Harry Kane plays much better up top or part of a 2 that are obviously not up together. And I will always say, to get the best out of Kane, you've got to stick with the 3-5-2. He's got to find the right players to fit that formation. And I think Harry Winks, and I will say, Stel was one that said it, but Alex, I have to say, has been banging on about it for a very, very, very long time. And like I said, Alex has
been banging on about something. What are you talking about?
Alex has been banging the Winks and especially Ben Davies drum for a very, very, very long time. And I think we can definitely say with those 2, he's got it absolutely bang on the money. And I just think the players we have right now and the way that I think best suits us to get the best out of Kane has to be 3-5-2.
Yeah, I'll answer my own question. I mean, it's obvious what I think about it because I've spoke about it quite a bit on many streams and on this one as well. As a 3-5-2 is the right formation with the players we have. But the key thing I've noticed from every one of you that have answered it is that we're missing that 10. Nobody wants Dele in there. I don't want Dele in there either. He had a good game against Liverpool because it's the first time he's played probably in ages where the setups suit him and he looked better in it. And you're going to see that when he's playing in that position. But that means he's only able to do one job. And what I liked about that was that we control the midfield. The wing backs have less responsibility, so they don't have to defend as much and they're not running as much. And you controlling that midfield, and then Sonny and Kane were incredible up top. If we could fix that 10 position, if we could get the right 10, then that system is going to be really, really good for us.
Okay, so now we're going to chuck it out. Like I said, guys, people in the panel, start chucking your questions in. Oh, sorry, panel in the chat.
Guys, I'm gonna bounce at this moment, Bryce. Sorry, it's we're nearly at 2 hours. If you guys want to keep rolling, go for it.
Yeah, we'll keep rolling for a bit. Adam, you good?
I'm good, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let's keep rolling. If anyone needs to go, they can go. But just before you go, Brian, the True Sets Free has struck gold once again. We have another super chat. He's obviously talking to Shamu, who's a great supporter. He's always on the Irish channel, and to see him here is fantastic. As always, because he is a great supporter of all the channels. And send me a picture of him in the middle of the New Zealand Ocean, sharks everywhere around him, and he's holding up. Yes, I don't know what that
60 centimeter boss.
So yes, Ireland, say your goodbyes. We'll carry on for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks.
And then-
Yeah, just have a good show, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for all the support in the chat, and look forward to the next one. And yeah, have a good one, guys.
All right, see you later on,
Bye.
guys. See you later, Brian, buddy. I'll speak to you later.
Have a good
Pleasure to
one.
meet you, Brian.
You too.
Okay, guys, so let's see if we get some questions in on the chat. But whilst we're waiting for them, let's just quickly go around. How was everyone's New Year? Alex, what did you do for New Year's, buddy?
Well, it's a question I don't really talk about personal, but yeah, it was for family. That was it really.
Sweet.
Same
I
here,
thought,
man.
yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'm not really going to get too much into it.
Oh,
but
no,
yeah.
that's what I wanted to know. Like, did you spend it by yourself?
you know, Brian, I talked to you personally anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Just that really.
Of course.
Yeah.
Adam, Adam is in not Clarke. What did you get up to for New Year?
This is probably I don't want to black pill anybody, but I don't want to be a downer. But this is probably the worst Christmas and New Year's I've ever experienced, just because with the lockdowns and not the lockdowns, but the COVID situation in general here in Ireland at the moment. As far as I'm aware, because I've got a good few friends in England. It's significantly worse here. That we weren't able to do anything. All the pubs, clubs were closed, which was where I'd normally go.
Yeah.
Some friends were self-isolating, so I couldn't go hang out with them. So yeah, it ended up it was myself and my girlfriend on the couch watching fireworks on television as the countdown was going on. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world for sure, but definitely we would both much rather have been in a club somewhere. So yeah, not the best. But
I'm putting thumbs up to Jens, not your dull New Year's Eve there. So just to get that right. Phil and I will go last.
That's not very Dutch, Jens.
we were together. Adam, what did you get up to?
What, me, is it?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, same as Alex. It's just like family and stuff. I obviously I drunk a few things, like, cause, New Year's, like whether you're at home or in the club or like actually the other Adam, I would much prefer to be have to have something to drink, like, so. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. Like, it was smooth, like smooth transition into the new year.
So I'll quickly,
mind you, the headache the next day wasn't great, but that's the way it goes.
So I'll quickly fill us in for. So obviously, I spent New Year's Eve with Phil because he was here for a few days. But I don't think we were planning to do anything major. It didn't feel right going out and having drinks and celebrating. Obviously, I wouldn't drink anyway. But when Bob is the way he is, so I had Rez from Shelfside Spurs and a great friend, the wonderful and amazing Kim, and Phil at mine. We just sat down, going through YouTube, watching Ali G's best bits or watching music videos and some comedy bits. And just chilled. And I wanted to get an early night because everything was catching up with me. So I think I left them to their own device at about 12 o'clock because I was exhausted, but I couldn't get to sleep till 8 in the morning. And I hate it when I go to bed and you're shattered, but you can't sleep. And then you get pissed off that you can't sleep. And then you get pissed off that you're pissed off that you can't sleep. And it gets worse and worse and worse. But we're here now, 2022. 22 is my lucky number. Because my birthday is June the 22nd. My wedding anniversary is June the 22nd. Tottenham are going to win a trophy in the 22nd year of 2000. They say things come in three. So, right, let's start going through some of these questions that have been coming in. And some of these questions just might be one-word answer or some will elaborate. But we're going to do the normal, the two at the bottom, and then the three at the top. God, I sound like I'm on countdown. So right. Do we, and Ryan, I want to big up Ryan because he's been a superb supporter of not just the channel, but myself personally. So I just want to reach out to Ryan and say thank you, buddy. But do we sign a creative midfielder this window or in the summer? So if you had a choice, Alex, creative midfielder, summer or January?
Summer. Because
I
don't think it makes a difference, to be honest with you. Because we don't move. Up front, we don't move. We don't move as a team. So I think a creative midfielder is just. I don't think it really makes a difference as far as I'm concerned, and that's it. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, Adam.
I'd actually take the opposite tack to Alex, to be honest. For me, I felt like the fact that we've got a big Christian Eriksen-sized hole in the team has been our biggest problem ever since he left. And I'm not Conte. Conte is king. I bow to whatever he says. But if it were me in charge of the team, the creative midfielder is exactly where I'd start. Because we have missed him so much. I think that Conte has shored up the defense enough, not to the degree that I would want. I still want to see someone like a De Vrij or a Skriniar or someone coming in, which won't happen. But I think we've solidified the back enough. I think that we still have so much talent up front that we're going to get to see Conte work with more and more and more, especially if he is going to try and attempt to turn Bergwijn into a stand-in for Harry whenever he needs to take a rest. But it's that creative midfield spot that I think is the most paramount, in my opinion. And we're also associated with I know there's going to be loads of transfer rumors, but Coutinho is being touted around. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Cool. So Phil, before you answer, I'm just thinking we've got another couple of super chats. But first of all, I am so happy that this certain person I'm going to read has left a super chat, because I remember a time when this guy, William Kelly, was on the Irish Hotspurs channel, and William Kelly has supported Spurs for a very, 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 very long time. And it was just around the Nuno leaving time, and I saw he was saying on the Irish Hotspurs that that's it, he can't watch football anymore, he can't do it, he can't see what Levy's doing to the club and ripping the club out. And I went on that show, and it was really, really affecting me. It was really, really affecting me that people that supported this great club for generations, for years, that live as far as Australia, get up at stupid o'clock in the morning or late at night, whatever it is, and give their blood, sweat, tears, money, everything. I know from supporting Spurs in Canada and other people around the world, they go to any length that they can to make sure they get to see Spurs. And when you see what's happening with our club and it affecting people like him, that's what really pisses me off. That's what really puts petrol on the fire for me, because these fans shouldn't have to go through it. So it's great to see William, and thank you for coming on, William. And out here in Australia, it's the same, boys. COVID effect. I was sitting on my lounge watching movie, exciting levels all the time. Will, I hope everything gets better in Australia. And like I said, just thank you for popping in and placing the super chat. And Kuva's there. We'll go back to you. He's asking who's hotter out of Chitara or Betty Boo. Betty Boo all day long, hands down. There's no discussion.
Who are these people?
The ginger women are getting a really hard time with this as well.
They are. He's really.
We digressed in our stream earlier. We were on all sorts, but we did get to a point where we were talking about the hottest cartoon characters during our Tottenham stream. So that's where these questions come from. So apologies, guys.
Okay, we've got, before we go to your answer, Phil, we've got another super chat in, and it is from Dermot, from your partner. Let's say, Alex, this is just for you. So just a one-word answer. So we go back to the original question that Ryan asked, or it could be a two-word. Cup win or top four?
Cup win, because that's more realistic.
There you go. And as much as I said about Arsenal beating Arsenal is more important to me than beating Chelsea, I want a cup win more. If it means we need trophies, we need trophies. So
I've got something more to say, but I'll let other people talk first. But I've
yeah,
more to say on
we're going to come back to it. We'll come back to that one. But thank you, Dermot. Phil, there we go. As you were saying,
okay. I think it's essential we get one now, but I think the market will be far wider and it'll give us more choice in the summer. Maybe a loan signing for now, but a permanent signing in the summer when he's had proper time to assess exactly who he's need and go after the right person.
So I'm inclined to agree. Listen, I've gone on the record many a time saying if we get two players in, or not players, positions, so Phil and I had the choice, it would be a second striker and a creative midfielder. To me, they are the two necessities, in my opinion. So I've got to say that I would want one now. But if we can get it in alone, I think you're right, Phil. The caliber of players may be easier or better suited for the summer, but definitely a loan deal. Right, we'll go through these again. But Bryce, I just want to big yourself up. He's everywhere. He's over in Australia as well. I don't know what the latest you've heard Bryce is, mate, but as I said, I'll go over it again for people that may have joined us later. So there we go, back a few days. So Bob's been moved back down to Harlow. He was in Milton Keynes. He is back on the medically induced coma. He has got a lot of crap in his lungs right now, and when he's laying on his back and he's putting a load of pressure on his back, his dependency on the ventilator and the oxygen from the machines skyrockets above 80, sometimes into the 90s, and I think at one point it even touched 100%. I don't quote me, but it was very, very, very high and very close to the hundreds. But when they rotate him and put him on his stomach, it goes down a hell of a lot to the 70s, 60s. So there's a lot of pressure in his lungs. There's a lot of stuff going on there. They did a check on his heart because of his open heart surgery he had. They did a check on his chest. Thankfully, all of them have come back fine. Nothing's been deeply affected or affected in the slightest. They thought at one point he may have picked up an infection. So he is on apparently the strongest upon strongest of antibiotics. And from what we heard today he was on his back mainly, and he seems to be a little bit less dependent on the oxygen from the ventilator than he was yesterday. So as people know, just before Christmas, we had a huge high that he was awake and everything, but we were told manage expectations. This doesn't mean he gets better, he's out. And then he drastically went downhill again. So he requested to go back into the medically induced coma, and he is fighting some more. And we are taking today as a small victory, and hopefully tomorrow will be another small victory. And we keep going until we have him back on streams, or most importantly, out of the hospital and feeling well. And then most importantly, mark the day that he comes back and says, piss off. And Bryce was one of the first, if not the first person to be told to piss off from Bob. So those two words mean a lot to Bryce. So Bryce, that is the update, buddy. And as you know, Bryce, you've got my number. Always feel free to message me. So we'll keep going through Seb, who is a good friend of mine and came to me with the protest, or I met him at the protest, and he was always there. Great guy. Bigging up to you, Alex, for respect to sticking to your views, although sometimes a bit controversial. What do you mean sometimes a bit controversial? Alex's middle name is controversial.
What do you mean a bit controversial?
But one thing I will say, honestly,
his middle name is Davis, I thought.
Oh, is his surname controversial? Maybe it's that way around. But one thing I will say, when you look, people see Alex on the stream, and he's like me when it comes to Levy. I don't mean the feelings, but I mean I'm very, very outspoken on my views with Levy. I'm very, very staunch, and I won't be budged. Alex is the same in many topics, and he sticks to his. And you have to respect it. But the thing is, you see Alex on the streams, and you meet Alex in the flesh, and we met up a good few times when I was there, and it is a blessing to spend any time with him. I love spending time with this dude. We get on like a house on fire. We got so much in common, and honestly, before, like we see everyone here who I now call friends, Alex was someone I saw on a stream. And then when I got to share a stream with him for the first time, I was like, yes, I'm on the stream with Alex Davis. I'm on the. It's like, because Alex gets around and has been everywhere. And honestly, we speak quite a bit now, Alex, don't we? We speak not just Tottenham, we speak all things. He's a great friend. So, yeah, he always sticks to his guns. And you've always got to appreciate a guy who does that. Now, Paul Russell has a great question. And I'm going to answer this question first. I just have to, because it's something I've been speaking about. And it's, would anyone take Coutinho on loan? And my answer is, in a goddamn heartbeat. And the reason I say that is, listen, he could, he knows this Premier League. Yes, he's done absolutely, he's fallen off a cliff since he's left Liverpool. But if he comes back, he knows the language, he knows the league, he knows how the Premiership is. He's got a set piece. We need a playmaker. If it's on loan with an option to buy it, or just a loan and then we pursue it, if he can get back anywhere near to what he was at Liverpool, even at 80% what he was at Liverpool, that is one hell of a player to come back into the squad or back into the Premier League. So for me, Paul, it's an easy yes. What about you, Alex?
No, I think what we need is someone that is not going to want not expect to be in the starting lineup. Someone that wants to fight. As far as I'm concerned, Tottenham's problem at the moment is that we've got a lineup that have got players that are our first teamers, and that's it. We ain't got a second team, so we haven't got a squad, and that's what wins championships. That wins cups. That gets you into the top four. And for me, at the moment, we haven't got players fighting for their place at the moment, and I don't think Coutinho is going to want to be in the starting lineup every single week. And if he's not in the starting lineup, he's gonna put up a fuss. So for me, not right for me whatsoever. You need somebody that is going to come in, but then he's got to have to fight for his place to get into the team, and then that's it. So that's it. Danny, by the way, mate, I bantered you every single day, mate. So honestly, mate, I'm on it all day, like with you, mate. So honestly, come on, bro. I love you, mate. I love him, but he's deluded.
Yeah.
He's most deluded guy
Your
in the
back and
world.
forth in the group chat is just legendary. Like honestly, it's entertainment all day, man.
Oh, don't worry, Mum. Honestly, the problem is I listen to. I love David. David, Irish Hotspur's a fantastic guy, by the way. Fantastic channel. This is a fantastic channel. By the way, Adam, not Adam, the Tottenham shirt. Boy, sorry if I got your name wrong, mate. You're very good. You are very, very good. Because I've watched. Yeah, you are very good. You are very good.
Thanks.
What your views is.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, so I've seen you on We Are Tottenham TV. You're very, very good, mate. Keep it up, mate. Even if people don't agree with you, you know, it's fun and games. Take it like that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, like I said, I you know, I've got to say that, you know, I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, carry on, mate.
Okay, so what I will say, guys, listen, I'm going to need to get to bed soon because I need to go and do We Are Tottenham TV, and I'm exhausted. I've been running on empty. We're going to finish this question off, so we'll go around with Adam, Phil, Adam. Then we'll do our goodbyes, and everyone can promote their channels and everything. And guys, just keep your eyes out because there will be pop-ups, just literally popping up here, there, and everywhere. So, Adam, sorry, you were about to answer the question about Coutinho.
Coutinho. Yeah, I would say, look, if the question was about buying Coutinho,
just go in bathroom. Adam, look after it. Clarke, I'm just going bathroom.
Yeah, well, of course.
I could see there being a debate about whether or not to go for Coutinho if it was actually a case of having to spend money. But on loan, I think there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that it would make any sense not to take him, because considering we know what he's capable of, as Brian D said, if we got an 80% Coutinho compared to the way he was at Liverpool, that would still be astounding. It would have a massive effect on the current team, because we do need that creative midfielder. Amazing at set pieces, amazing at the little turns that he does, the way that he's able to ping a ball. Like there's very few players out there that you could say have the same skills, are in the same ilk as him. That would so perfectly fit the mold of what we're looking for. So I think on loan, I think it's for me, there's no way you could turn that down. Now, apparently, if we're going to buy him, he's only going for 16 million as well. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that does not sound like an awful lot of money for a player of his caliber. 16 million. So if I had to buy him, I would be saying yes. On loan, it's a no-brainer. You got to take him on loan.
There we go. Phil?
I think for me, I'm just going to repeat the panel. Absolutely all day long. He's Premier League experience, could take a set piece, could take a long shot, can do that killer pass. Been off the pace, so he's got a little bit to prove. But the season he was at Bayern, he was good again. So maybe he's just in the wrong place. But again, Conte could do something with him.
There we go. Adam?
I take him on loan, at the moment for two reasons, really. The only two I can think of. One is that, Conte can work his Conte effect on him, and make him into a better player and improve him. I don't think he can make him into the player he was before, but he can make him a version of him. Surely he can make him better than what he is now at the moment anyway. And the second one, if it turns out that it goes pear-shaped and he's just crap, he can just go back. I mean, it's a loan, so I mean, if it doesn't work out, we can say fine, it was an experiment, didn't work, go away now, and just get someone else in, someone who we know is going to fill up that position well.
There we go. So before we go around the panel and say where everyone can find us, Kuva's just had to come in with another one. Rate Sue from Sooty and Sweep 9 out of 10 for me. 4. So yeah, Kuva's.
I'll take your word for it, Kuva.
So there we go. And then obviously Mr. Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou has come in with big up, lads. Loving this panel. Sorry I wanted to join tonight, but easy jets are yes, which we're not using that word for monetization. Alex D, love seeing you on here. Love you, but deluded FC Davies. He has to have the last word.
Here we go.
So no, it's not here we go, because I literally need to get to bed and make sure I get up so I'm not late for We Are Tottenham. Alex, brother, you know I love you. You know everyone wants to know where they can find you. Tell them about your channel, brother.
Alex THFC, and yeah, hopefully do some content soon again. But yeah, there's some things on there already. If you want to watch it, thank you for your time. But yeah, that's where you can find me at the moment. Yeah.
Fantastic. Adam, William Cahill, is honestly your first time on the channel. You're always more than welcome. Thank you for coming on. We really want to see you more on the channel. Where can people find you?
No, man, it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be on here. Like, you know, like I always love being able to go on We Are Tottenham TV with you. When I saw that you were back in England again, so you could be in the studio, I was so excited because I really, really enjoy having the banter with you whenever I come on, man. So like, I really appreciate you having me on your show, and absolutely anytime that you need another head on here, just give me a shout. I'll pop on absolutely any moment. So thank you so much for having me on.
And once we go off, stay behind. Don't go off. When we say goodbyes, stay here, because I'll take some details from you and I'll give you my number and we'll go from there. So yeah, no, carry on, Adam. Where can people find you?
Awesome. Also, just a big thanks to Phil, Adam, and Alex for the banter as well. Welcome. You guys are awesome, and it was a privilege to be on here with you guys for the first time. As I said when I came on at the start, I'm a filmmaker. I don't make any Spurs content. I just love jumping on with you guys whenever I get the chance. But as a filmmaker, my company is called Wild Stag Productions. If you want to check out what I do on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's Wild Stag Media. My first feature film is called Follow the Dead. You can look up followthedead.com as well if you want to see what that movie's all about. And then just me in general, Adam William Cahill, at all the usual places. So again, guys, thanks so much for having me on, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it has indeed. So before we come to Hollywood, True Sets 3 has come up with Karen Klopp or Terrible Tuchel. Who do you hate more?
Karen Klopp all the way.
I would say Alisson Arteta is the one that I hate the absolute most. But Phil, where can people find you, buddy?
They can find me at Tottenham Tantrum Gold, along with Dermot and Mr. Kuva, who's super chat man for tonight. But yeah, obviously fairly new channel, but doing all of Tottenham's history, you know, live watch alongs with your coffee mornings and discussion and games in the evening. So come and join us.
Okay, and we've got Kuva being Kuva again with our super chats, a waste of time, a time waste discussed with diagrams. And then we've got Truth Sets Free saying keep super chatting so Brian can't go to bed. He will go to bed. He will go to bed. That's for goddamn sure. Adam, obviously partner in crime, part of the Tottenham On Tour crew. Apart from obviously with us, where can people find you?
As many Tottenham channels as possible. Like if I have the time, usually I'm either listening away or I'm in the chat of like almost every Tottenham Hotspur channel on the platform, and I say that proudly as well. Yeah, I see you don't. Also,
I think them two could be going at it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd say you can find me on Twitter, but I'm not active on Twitter at all at the moment, like because it's Twitter. So I'll probably like come back to it now sooner rather than later. But I'm just flexible with that really. Where else you can also find me as well on Spurs Waging TV. Before the college work got in the way, I used to be on there every Sunday, so I'm going to have to go back to that now. Because I really don't have lots of excuses to be away from there now. And also a huge shout out. So a huge shout out to Eugene who runs that channel, and Matt, a shout out as well to Simon and Matt. I think, Simon and Matt over Premier Hotspur TV as well. Always make sure to shout out those two channels. And of course, like Brian said, find me here. So yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Well, obviously, people know where they can find me. The home of me is obviously here, Tottenham on Tour, but I am normally whoring myself out across all the channels. But obviously, this is my home from home. But obviously, big love and respect, and a lot of work that I do with Ben and Simeon, who have given me the platform to be able to do this, just like so many. A huge, massive congratulations to them on hitting the milestone again, and everyone in this chat today. That we're peaking at 70s and 80s, and we've got new subscribers coming in. Thank you so much for your support. We really, really, really appreciate it. There's a lot more to come from us. Truth is going it again. Please don't leave, Brian. I will have super chat withdrawal. We'll be back for you soon, buddy. We'll be back for you soon. But on behalf of everyone on Tottenham on Tour, I just want to say good night, God bless, and anyone. Sorry, there's a Chelsea away, Chelsea home, Filth at home. I will be there, and I really want to meet as many people as I can. I'm sitting in the South Stand, but I'll be with the Levy. I don't know if we're going to be protesting, especially with Chelsea and Arsenal, because there could be a bit of trouble along the high road. So we shall. And Kuva, I don't hate you so much. I have to go to bed. I have responsibilities. And you know what? I'm not even going to play the outro music because I know there's another one coming in. So I'm just going to leave with my famous 2 words: Levy out.
Come on, you Spurs.